We're just gonna do it. We're going live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nuuli Forged. Pardon the mismatched names and everything tonight. Amber is with us. She's just on a phone call, but once she turns her camera on and everything, we'll be all set up perfectly. So until that happens, ignore the name tags on underneath everybody because they're wrong. So this is
Trying to
gonna
see the bad ads.
yeah this is gonna make the only person who's in the right spot actually is Tanner. So good job, Tanner. Oh well, here comes Amber now.
Oh.
So
Hi.
hey, everything's good. Ignore what I just said.
What?
Everything's fine.
What happened? We fixed it.
You ruined it.
I ruined it.
It
But
was
did I just fix it too?
you
Oh,
did.
yeah, we were all kinds of backwards
Actually,
for
yeah.
a hot second there, weren't we?
Yep. Everything is good now. So hello everyone and welcome to Nuuli Forged. My name is Jared. I am the humble dungeon master here, which means that I interpret how the world of Nuuli responds to these five misfits. We are a 5e D&D homebrew campaign taking place in the world of Nuuli, which came out of my brain, and these people are brave enough to venture forth into. So good job. So before we can get to introductions in the game, I need someone to roll a D100 for me. Mwahaha.
I think I did it last week.
I don't know.
Remember?
I know.
I'll give it a go. Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, you do it. You do
There
it.
you go.
You do
No,
it.
it's too late.
No.
It has
52
it has
is
it has been
Wait.
done, and so the question has been asked.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, and theys and thems and everyone else who watches the stream, please allow me to introduce these five fantastic misfits. And I would like the misfits to introduce themselves, their character, and I would like them to answer the question. If your character was granted a single use of the wish spell, what would they use it for? And we'll start up in this corner with Mike.
Hey guys, I'm Mike. I play Defect, Warforged Barbarian. And I don't know, what would he wish for? That's really tough. I think Defect in Defect in reality would probably take a lot of time to think this through, but for the sake of the game, we'll just say that he'll wish that he could throw things even farther. We'll just go with that.
Wishes for
He
greater
wishes
strength.
he could win an arm wrestling match.
Ooh, burn.
Ooh.
That was a slight burn, but also true. So
I was gonna say you did great throwing rocks.
I do great. I could do better. I think there's always room for improvement.
Yep. Moving on, we have underneath Mike, we have Amber.
Oh no. Okay. I'm Amber. I play Greg the Goblin Artificer. And the problem is that thinking about this question ahead of time is not Greg's way. So I'm pretty sure that like in the moment Greg would probably wish for something like, I don't know, a really
pony.
cool hat.
One to rival Spoots.
That's right. But you know, now that I have to think about it, I don't know. I don't know what Greg would do. Greg might do something sappy,
Fair enough.
like wish that
Happy.
all her friends would stay together.
Mushy.
Aw.
Yeah, they're secretly sappy, but none of that mushy stuff. Not out loud. Only in their head.
Sappy and mushy are
Different.
two different things.
We don't talk about that.
We don't
Yeah, I don't
talk
know.
about
I knew-
sappy.
Yeah,
There you go.
All right.
I started singing it in my head too.
We all were. Anyway, hopping right along, directly next to Amber, directly under me, we have Sarah.
Ah, crap, I was reading Wish Spell. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I play Olive, the half-orc moon druid. I had to think about that for way too long. And wow, if Olive was given one use of the Wish Spell, this is actually fairly limiting. But she would probably meh, 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 meh. I don't know what she would do. She would probably be very confused for a little while, and then probably ask for some kind of object that would benefit the people back in Southbrook.
Okay, I dig that. Moving right along, we have in the opposing corner, we have Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner. I'm playing Nereus the Sorcerer. If he had a use of the wish spell, I think we would try to find out more about heritage.
Ah, interesting.
Am I the only one that actually read the wish spell before answering this question?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
But see, here's the thing. If you're being given it, you don't know what it does until you do it. So, hey.
Because none of us can cast wish yet.
Yep. And only the caster really understands it. So, hey. Moving on up,
Sure.
we have in the fifth, but not last, not least, but final spot, we have Matt.
The slowest spot. I was actually also reading the wish spell. I was like, I don't know what this does at all. So I'll just go with my first answer, which is definitely something sappy, but something to the effect of, I think. Oh, sorry, I should introduce myself. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Spoot, Turtle Cleric. Spoot would likely wish for something like the ability
Unlimited
to
fish.
unlimited fish. It's actually not a minute. Yeah, maybe I changed my answer. No, something like the ability to protect his party members or something like that. I don't know how he would word it because he's bad at that.
Cool. 3 of you
RE.
selected things for other people. That's pretty amazing.
I mean, I respect everyone's answer.
I do too. I think that's glorious. Your characters are nicer than I thought they'd be.
Throwing rocks further could actually really come in handy.
It could. It
It
could.
really
It would, right? In a battle situation.
In many situations.
I feel like in a certain situation, everyone getting all their hit points and all their effects ended would actually be very situationally useful.
Yep, totally.
But not this situation.
I mean, back in the day, they used to use it to bring back dwarves and elves from the dead because they had no soul.
Yep, early first and second edition. Well, definitely first edition, maybe not second edition. I'm a little fuzzy. And last and probably least is me. I'm Jared. I am the Dungeon Master here. I play everyone and everything else that is not these 5 folks.
What's a Dungeon Master's wish?
Ooh.
And we'd shut up.
Stop interrupting.
Dark and twisted and would scare you and give you nightmares forever.
Don't lie, you're cuddly.
It's true. I'd probably wish for something like all the idiots to go away and just smart, intelligent people who are emotionally mature still be around.
Wait, in the game or in real life?
Take your pick.
Just think of how empty all the subways would be.
I know, it'd be great.
But
So yeah,
all the train conductors are gone too.
I mean, we got smart animals. It'll be
How
fun.
hard can it be, right?
We're not going to play that game. So welcome to Nuuli. First of all, big shout out to Little Witch 42 who gave us a follow a few hours ago. Thank you, Little Witch. Welcome to being a Nuuli Forger. So all of that being said, let's dive right into last time on Nuuli Forged. Greg and the Misfits harvested the small hoard of the Ragefire Zinniandu, including the 3 shards of emerald that were embedded in its chest, which had once made up the Heart of Oaks. Paduk, their sprite companion, was healed up, however is left with a permanent burn scar that runs from his right hand up his arm to the base of his chin on his neck, a memento of his death by dragonfire. Upon casting Identify, Spoot learned that the largest of the emerald pieces was now the phylactery of Zinniandu the Ragefire, and housed the creature's dark corrupted soul. Spoot chose to keep that information to himself for the time being, and the group departed the lair, and they were met by an army of Cinderfolk. After a bit of an intimidating conversation from the Cinderfolk spokeswoman, they were informed that they had no interest in hunting them down, but that the group should leave their holdings quickly as possible. The party took the opportunity to utilize the few spells they had left available and fly north as eagles and make some vast headway in their travels. That night, Spoot did some small questioning of Nereus, but didn't press very far, as he also chose to share with his party the truth of what he had learned in the caves of the Ragefire. The party was at odds with what to do with it. Some wanted to throw it into the astral sea using the latch blade, but Spoot was hesitant to fling such a dangerous item into an unknown location where who knows what might find it. Upon a long rest and a communion with the silver-skinned woman, Spoot was given some assurance that he and his party likely had little to fear based on the peculiarities of the Dracolich's phylactery. The woman also passed on that one mortal who specialized in such things lived to the south, inside of 3 towers. Spoot awoke and shared this information with the others, who after much debate agreed to reroute and head south towards the city of Winton. Covering 4 days of travel in 5 hours due to judicious use of spells and flying abilities, the party landed to allow Olive a chance to rest and recover her wild shape, towards the end of which a large crocodilian-like individual named Magna, in an emerald Nehru jacket, monocle, and a silver-chained pocket device emerged from the brush and invited them to their appointment with Persephonia, the Veil Piercer. Confused but curious, the party agreed, and accompanied the crocodilian Magna to a strange gnarled hut and preceded him inside of an open door. So this is where we pick up now on Nuuli Forged. Each of you enters the crooked hut of the Veil Piercer at the behest of Magna. I keep pronunciation's a thing.
Is there not an R at the end of that?
Nope.
Okay.
You are shown into a waiting room, which has just enough chairs for each of you, but none of the chairs match. You see a room covered with various paintings of questionable taste, but all hung askew and each depicting a strange landscape. Magna, the crocodilian fellow, gestures for you all to be seated.
All right, take a seat.
You sit?
It's the red one.
There's a
What are our
chartreuse
seating
one.
places?
Great. That's perfect. Chartreuse is great.
Great.
Not red, but it's great.
All right. You all sit down. The chairs are not very comfortable, and they are all very stiff-backed. Once you are all seated, Magna, I will announce you now. And he enters through a kind of crooked set of double doors, closes them behind him, emerges a few moments later, and says, "The Veil Piercer will see one of you now. Who would like to go first?"
Oh, this is an individual thing.
We can't go as a group.
The Veil Piercer has said one at a time.
Who's feeling lucky? Any of you?
We should roll a T100.
I'll go.
I'm just kidding. Spoot was about to volunteer.
Okay.
You don't have to go, Olive, if you don't want. I will go.
I'll go. This chair's uncomfortable anyway.
Okay. Olive, you are shown in to the room. Magna ushers you in and then closes the door behind you, remaining in the drawing room with the others. Or remaining in the waiting room with the others. You are shown into the drawing room.
The drawing room.
Yes. Immediately in this room, you are hit with a scent of lilac and juniper.
Pretty.
Worst things to smell like.
You are hit by this smell of lilac and juniper. Ugh, sorry. And
Jumanji.
as you look around the room, you are smacked by the kind of almost hoardery clutter that lies on the various shelves and drawers and desks and such things. You see a variety of artifacts and curios, various looking skulls and bones, display cases with strange geometric objects inside of them, odd mechanical devices with unknown purpose kind of whirling in place, small statues of various kinds littering the many shelves, and the accompaniment of oddly shaped jars, bottles, and containers filled with who knows what, plus a ragged assortment of scrolls, books, and various other knick-knacky type of things. Before you, towards the center of the room, with a bit of like what appears to be firelight kind of flickering over the form, you see seated at a small table with a stack of cards on top of like a ancient looking doily. You see a figure, and there's a single open chair opposite this figure. One of the skulls turns and looks at you and says, like, I don't know if you know this, but you're about to get a really spiritual experience.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
So, like, be prepared, okay? Because you're not going to forget it.
Fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah. Shocked by this, like, skull, like, turning and talk to you, you see your eyes finally draw to the figure opposite you. And how this figure did not dominate the landscape at first boggles your mind as you look upon it. You see who is presumably Persephonia, the veil piercer, a form with saffron yellow skin and unnaturally long, almost spider-like multi-jointed limbs for arms and legs, long fingers in dark fingernails, black, gnarled, messy hair, a figure easily 12 feet tall if she stood on end, or if she stood up from behind the table, would easily be 12 feet tall. Messy black, gnarled hair, streaked with like sickly green highlights. And the whites of her eyes are in fact red, and her irises are spiraling blue whorls.
I'm going to not look too closely at her eyes.
Her yellowy brown teeth are kind of mismatched in a jumble inside of her wide, smiling mouth. And as she sits and stares at you, you realize her legs and arms are at odd angles, and it must be uncomfortable. You have no idea how a figure like this moves about the clutter of this room, but apparently she must. And she smiles at you in that toothy grin. Well, hello, dear. Do come in, little streamling, and have a seat.
I will sit down in the proffered chair.
Welcome to my home.
It's very interesting.
Oh, thank you. I do my best to keep it tidy as I can, but one must keep mementos of their life.
Oh, of course. I wish I had time to examine them all.
Well, time is a fickle thing, and you are supposed to be here right now.
What a coincidence. I am here.
Funny how that works, isn't it? Now, my dear, there are some things you should know before the reading commences. I will begin to shuffle the cards, and you will instruct me where to cut them and when to stop.
Okay.
And then I will reveal 3 cards that entwine with your destiny. 1 for past, 1 for future, and 1 for present. Know this: I do not read events. I do not provide roadmaps. I summon the beings you once were, are, and have yet to be. I convey to you the truth as I read it. The universe is rarely fair or kind, so beware that you do. Once I bring forth the hand that destiny would deal, pay attention to it.
Yes, ma'am?
Excellent. And she begins and she takes these massive hands and picks up a regular kind of like size of tarot cards, for lack of a better description, and rapidly begins shuffling them. Her incredibly long, multi-jointed fingers flicking and firing, and she looks expectantly at you to tell her to stop. And eventually you do so.
Okay, stop.
She offers you the deck to cut it. You may or may not, as your choices. And she restacks it and places down. And now we draw 3 cards for you, little Olive. And she draws the first card. Whoops, I actually have a prop for this. I forgot. One moment. So professional. Except when I'm not.
Same.
I know, right? It's crazy. Oh. Ooh. All right. Okay. She draws for you 3 cards. The first card she draws for Olive. Have to find it. Okay, here we go. She pulls forth a card. The Tower. Inverted. Your past is one of instability, of brutality, cruelty, an unsafe environment from whence you were forged into the being you are now. How very sad for you. Must have been awfully lonely in that cave by yourself.
Liked my cave. I had friends.
You're present, and she reveals the next card. The Wheel of Fortune itself. An abundance of option lays before you. For good or ill. You are in the midst of making many choices. Be wise with them, little half-orc. And for your finality, your future, the Inverted Chariot. How sad. A middling life, full of incompletion and false starts. If you would avoid this, you had best get your act together and start making more quick decisions.
she just tell you get your act together?
She did, yeah.
You did.
Rude.
Ah, little one, it seems that there is much in your future yet to be decided upon. And the choices you make now will impact you for the rest of time. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Excellent. You may send in the next group of your friends.
The next group?
Individual.
Okay. Alright, I will,
Of
leave
your
the
group
room
of
and
friends.
say,
We need individual groups now.
yes. Alright, guys, who's next?
How did it go?
Fine. I mean, it's a basic fortune teller tarot card reading.
Interesting. How good?
That sounds cute. I've gotten those a bunch before.
Perhaps. I'm very interested.
Whoever's next.
Does this sound
Alright,
better? Forgot I took my mic off. How's this?
Yeah, you sound
yeah,
good.
that works better.
That's a good ASMR voice.
FYI, the skull talks, don't be alarmed.
I want that skull so
Spook
bad.
gives a face as he walks inside.
So, Spoot, you're walking inside?
Yes.
Okay. You see much of the same, exactly the same thing, the same saffron-skinned figure, the same knickknacks, the same skull. Oh, you're in for a real treat now. Like, totally, okay? Like, hi there. You're gonna be so spiritually aware now. Like, you're really gonna love it.
This is going to be very interesting. I already thought I was a little spiritually aware. What's your name?
I don't have a name. I'm a skull.
I see.
Put your... I can barely hear you, Mad, so get your...
I was sorry. I was trying to avoid the noise coming from outside. I don't know if it's worse than...
Oh, I didn't even hear any noise from outside.
Yeah, I didn't hear noise. You just suddenly sounded like
Hello?
at the bottom
Is
of
this
the
thing on?
Yeah,
Tap,
there you
tap.
go.
I'll put it back on in a minute. It's just warm in here. Spoot will say, pleasure to meet you, Skull. My name is Spoot. I think I'm gonna go in now.
Like, you totally should. So you enter, and indeed, behind this little table with the doilies, you see this large saffron-skinned, scraggly black with green-streaked hair figure and a wide, rotty-toothed grin. Welcome, little turtle, to the drawing room of Persephonia. Please be seated.
I will. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you, Persephonia. I feel that you
Indeed.
might know me already.
I have a vague inkling of you, Spoot.
I'm very curious what that inkling might be.
Let us find out, shall we?
Can
Some
I-
things you should know before we begin. I will shuffle the deck and you will tell me when to stop. I will offer it to you to cut. And then I will read you 3 cards. Your past, your present, your future. Know this. I do not read events. I do not provide roadmaps. I summon the beings you were once, are, and have yet to be. I convey to you the truth as I read it. The universe is rarely kind, so beware what you do. Once I bring forth the hand destiny would deal.
Inside check?
If you want to.
I can't help it.
I mean, when has anything not been sus?
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know how to do it anymore.
Oh, well, okay then.
28.
She believes everything
mean-
she's telling you.
You're visiting a tarot card reader in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know. She might eat us later.
She might. And there's not a damn thing we can do about
She
that.
begins shuffling the cards and stares at you with these whirling blue swirls of an iris.
Spoot will give it a minute. Try not to focus on the swirling iris. Look at the cards. I'm a little impressed. That's the fastest handwork I've ever seen, says Spoot. You can stop now.
She stops and proffers you the deck to cut if you so desire to.
Sure. I cut it.
All right. She then she puts the deck onto the lace doily and draws you 3 cards, Spoot. The first card she draws is the Empress.
Ooh.
A powerful female figure pushed you in your past to create your own path. Encouraged you to trot it, to walk and travel. How interesting. An outside force forcing a turtle such as yourself to leave your home and wander the wide world. How very interesting. For your present, my dear Spoot, you have the world inverted. You are filled in this moment with doubt, with fear, as though you are carrying the world itself upon your shoulders, little turtle. Be wary of such things. Succumbing to that doubt and that fear could spell doom for you, your friends, and the world itself. In your future, little turtle, I see strength inverted. How sad. I see failure to fully think through the consequences of your actions, becoming overwhelmed by the choices you have made. Possibly even madness. Be careful how you make your choices, Spoot. If you make choices recklessly, it could spell doom for you. Any questions?
Spoot takes a long beat.
Big toothy grin and just kind of a tapping with her clawed fingers against each other.
I don't believe I have any questions at this time. Persephonia,
Excellent.
the Veil Piercer.
Thank you. You may send in the next of your companions.
Spoot will quietly rise. He will nod his head to the skull as he exits. And look for the next person.
Very cool.
Well, that was interesting. Fairly certain.
Interesting how?
Well,
She's quite a character.
I suppose it's worth seeing for yourself. I'm fairly certain it's all very harmless. And either way, the Veil Piercer is looking for the next one
Victim?
of us to enter. Well, no, client, it seems more like. I suppose that's not the right word. I hope this is free.
I can go. It's been a while since I've had my fortune told.
This was a first. Unless you count my dreams. Spoot starts to mutter to himself as he walks away.
What was that?
Nothing.
We don't really have a lot of tarot card readers in Southbrook. It's not really a thing.
Oh, you should get some.
It's more of a small farming village, really.
I'll head through the door.
All right. Once again, you see all the same kind of clutter in the room, and the skull speaks to you as well, Nereus. You're about to become like super enlightened about your future, so I hope you really, really dig it.
Oh, I totally am. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, that's so good to hear.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, go right in. Like, have fun later. And
later.
You enter, and the figure, this Persephonia, stares directly at you with a big smiley grin and indicates the open chair opposite her.
I'll sit down.
Glorious. Welcome, little Nereus. It's so
Thank you for
rare
having
to
me.
have one of you here.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
Can I do an Arcana check on this person?
Sure.
Individual? Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
She's giving me... Oh, wait, I didn't even open up Roll20.
I mean, she is very strange looking, so...
She's yellow, for starters.
She is a saffron yellow, green, black with green streaked hair.
I mean, being yellow doesn't surprise me in D&D at all.
Yeah, extra super long limbs. It's interesting. But yeah.
1 second. Here. Arcana. Nope. 8.
Yeah, you've never seen anything like any person like this.
Well, I heard you tell fortunes. It's been a while since I've had mine.
Telling fortunes is for the unenlightened tricksters. I do something much worse. I tell you the truth. Things you should know. And she rattles off the 3 things that she has told the previous 2. I do not read events. I do not provide roadmaps. I summon the beings you once were, are, and have yet to become. I convey to you the truth as I read it. The universe is rarely fair or kind, so beware what you do once you know the hand that destiny would deal. And she begins shuffling the cards like a woman possessed.
Stop.
She stops. She holds out the deck for you to cut it, if you so desire.
I will.
Glorious. You cut the deck. She places it on the ancient bit of lace and draws forth the first card. Ah, this makes total sense for you, little one. Your past is the inverted star. A false sense of security from a higher power, blinded by an unknown heritage you know nothing about. But yet power does come from it. This brings us to the present and inverted temperance. Dreams stuck in the past with worry. The protection might fail. And what then? Perhaps you just won't be enough. These fears that speak to you in the back of your mind are not just for yourself, but for the protections left in place for others you care about. And all these worries bring us unsurprisingly to your future. one of judgment. High expectations, service, sacrifice, bondage, duty. A destiny not of your own choosing. Beware, young starborn. If you give in to what is expected, you will never be what you could.
Really noted.
Any questions?
A lot, but I don't feel I'll get the answers to them.
You show wisdom as well as charm and wit.
Oh, I do my best. And I'll shoot her a wink.
She grins, a wide, toothy grin. You may send in your next compatriot.
All right. Step up, walk out of the room, and stop by the skull on the way out. That was definitely most enlightening.
Isn't she, like, so awesome?
She really is totally awesome.
It's so true. Bye.
Bye.
And you exit the room.
I'll walk out. So who's next? Is most fascinating.
I mean, was it? What's it even? What? This is like, there was this one time, like it's a total scam, right?
I mean, most fortune tellers are somewhat of a scam, but this one was actually quite interesting.
What?
What?
I
said
think
what first?
I think you should just experience it, Greg. I'm not really sure if anything can prepare you.
You should just go.
And then I'm happy to share what I was told later.
So who goes next?
To you two.
Oh, you don't have to. I
Are you
suppose we
going,
could just
Greg?
leave.
What? No, I guess I could. Okay.
Okay. So Greg, you enter the room, and the doors are closed behind you by Magna. And the skull turns to you and kind of like looks down, which, as a disembodied skull that's sitting on a shelf, is kind of weird that it does so. It says, "Oh, like, you're gonna really dig it. You're gonna get so much like spiritual energy out of this. Like, thrive on it, okay?"
Can I reach the skull?
No, it's much too high.
Okay. I'm gonna start knocking on the wall. Like, is there a shelf?
Greg's gonna put the skull in the bag.
What? I mean, you're in the room, like, and the figure is like 10 feet away from you.
Yeah. I'm gonna but I want to like knock on the wall and see if it's hollow. For
No,
like this talking skull.
no, like it's on a high shelf. There are other shelves underneath it.
Why are you talking to me?
I talk to like everybody who comes in because this is so cool.
But okay. Have you always been a skull?
Like, don't ask somebody such things like on the first time you meet them. It's rude.
Oh. I mean, okay. I would think it'd be like a cool story if you weren't always a skull, but now you are, because that's kind of cool.
Maybe you should just like go on in.
Okay, fine. I just,
And you scamper in and see this massive 12-foot tall figure with yellow skin, hair, big toothy grin, long, multi-jointed fingers. Ah, welcome, little Greg of the Rust. How interesting to have someone like you in my chair. Sit.
Can I sit, or is it a giant chair?
No, like it's perfectly sized for you. In fact, she's sitting in her chair, like her arms are like out really far, like at the elbows, and her knees are up and out. Like how she sits behind this table is boggling. Can't possibly be comfortable.
Why don't you have a better chair for you?
I have
Greg
what
says,
I
as Greg
need.
climbs the chair. You mean like your tricks and stuff?
No tricks, only truth.
How'd you get so big? You're bigger than my best friend.
As are many things in the universe.
Yeah. Not that many.
Now here is what will happen, little Greg. And she goes through the litany of how this will work. I do not read events. I do not provide road maps. I summon the beings you once were, are, and have yet to be. I convey you the truth as I read it. The universe is rarely fair or kind, so beware what you do once I bring forth the hand that destiny would deal. And she begins to shuffle the cards with her ridiculously long fingers and like the multiple joints just making a bridge and shuffling them together and rapidly moving until you tell her to stop.
I say it as soon as I can. See it start. Go stop.
She smiles and offers you the deck to cut it, if you so desire
I will
to.
take my time very carefully and try to cut it as close to the top as possible.
She puts the one card you've removed on the bottom. places the deck on the doilies and says, "And now we begin. Your past, Greg, is represented as the Emperor. A long struggle for independence from an overbearing male. A dangerous and devious one. I believe you know who this is. If you have a question, look to your own family. All this struggle for an independence, to be your own person, brings you to who you are now. Death inverted. Obsession. Being unable to let go of the curiosities and questions you find yourself posing when no one else does. Questions and curiosity that drive you, and a blind pursuit of knowledge occupies your active mind. And in your future, little goblin, the magician inverted. A sad and lonely life of sequestered solitude, isolated experimentation, and the odd fiery explosion, it seems. If you do not want this, be mindful of what choices you make in the present, and how many questions you decide to give up getting the answer to. And she swoops up the cards and shuffles the deck and smiles at you. Any questions that are pertinent?
Do you have to practice a lot? You shuffle really fast. That's cool.
Centuries of practice.
Huh. That's old.
Not particularly.
I mean, like, comparatively, because, like, goblins don't live that long, so that's, like, super old. But we did meet a gnome that was, like, hundreds of years old, too.
Indeed.
Am I supposed to go?
You may send in the next. And
Okay.
don't bother with the sprite. I have no readings for him.
Oh, okay. That's rude. But okay. Bye, Skull.
Poor Paduke.
Like, later.
No, but, like, seriously, next time tell me, like, how you became a skull. Maybe I want to be a skull.
You will be one day. Later.
I mean, sure, but like a talking skull. Fine.
And you leave.
I guess it's your turn.
I'll get up and I'll walk in.
Cool. You open the doors. Magna closes them behind you. The skull looks at you like, you're a big boy, aren't you? Or like, do you identify as a boy, or like, what's your deal?
I'm defect.
Well, you're big, so like, go have your mind expanded already.
Will
Sorry,
do.
Mood.
We'll just confused by the skull, but we'll walk into the next area.
Yeah. And you see all the same plethora of weird objects and strange, discomforting everything. And the discomforting figure before you who smiles as you sit. Ah, hello, defect. So interesting. I've never read for one of you before.
Well, I guess it's a first for both of us.
Indeed. How interesting this will be to see how you weave into the tapestry. Now here's what you should know. And she recites how this is going to work. I do not read events. I do not provide roadmaps. I summon the beings you once were, are, and have yet to be. I convey to you the truth as I read it. The universe is rarely fair or kind, so beware what you do once I bring forth the hand that destiny would deal. And she begins to shuffle the cards, long fingers moving like rapid fire over it.
Can I? Actually, no. Never mind. I mean, I try to focus in on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Try to catch, you know, some of the imagery, but
yeah, it's moving so fast. It's almost like a blur. But you notice that she doesn't look at the cards at all. She just stares directly at you.
Okay. So we'll lock eyes, and then I'll say, stop.
She does so, and without even looking, offers you the deck to cut it if you are so inclined.
I do. Yeah, I'll cut that deck.
All right. She places it on top of the thing, on top of the little lace doily, and says, and now for something very interesting. Let's see how you factor into this defect. Your past. The inverted lovers. A lurking shadow follows you unseen, unknown from your past. An obsession to know the answers, what you were, who you were. And will you come back? All of these questions bring us to your present. The Hierophant. Choices being made as instructors enter and exit your life. The stress and weight of all these teachers teaching you new things, how to be a real person, how to interact in society, all of it weighs upon you, threatening to bring you down. It's all very confusing, isn't it? But for your future, the inverted hermit. How sad it is for you, defect. This card shows that you will suffer isolation and solitude, cursed to forever be the only one, no matter where you go. Amongst friends, amongst your own kind, you are never truly one or the other, and you will know this for as long as you live. And she drops the card and stares at you. Interesting you are. I look forward to hopefully interacting with more of your kind in the future. And she smiles and scoops up the cards, shuffles the deck, and places it down. Any questions?
Defect is kind of, making the calculations and thinking deeply about what she has said. Especially the future card that like really troubles him. Defect, just like out of concern, will ask, what happened to Grig?
Their future has already been read to them.
But like a good future, right?
Each reading is done in private because it is a private matter.
Aww.
Defect like just stands up and is like, this was not fun at all. Why do people love these things?
Aww.
This is...
You're gonna make me cry.
Just flicks the skull off on the way out.
As you leave, the skull's like, don't worry, you can always change stuff. But like, you gotta work hard at it, okay? Later.
Before I exit, I'll ask the skull, has anyone ever come back for a second reading?
I haven't been here forever. I couldn't possibly answer that.
How long have you been here?
I don't know. I'm a skull.
I love this skull so much.
Just pick it up.
I know. I really want to just like take it with me.
What's under here? I should have insight checked the skull.
Careful, it does have the ability to bite, presumably.
How does its mouth move while it's sitting on something? How does that work? Does its like head go up and down since the jaw is stationary?
It seems to just like be kind of floating just enough for the jaw to talk.
Oh, and look down. I did Grig, so yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? One other question to the skull. Again, thinking about what my fortune had told me. I asked the skull, are you the only one of your kind?
Like, there's lots of skulls here.
I look around the room. Do I see any other talking skulls?
There's a variety of skulls. None of the others have spoken if they can.
Do they talk?
Well, like, I don't know. Do your friends all talk?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
That's so much.
The effect just even more confused now. It's like, that doesn't answer anything. I'll go to a random skull and it's like, hello?
The skull says nothing to you.
This one's shy.
Like, it's really like time you should be going. Like, Persephonia is very busy.
With that, the effect will leave.
Okay. You exit and rejoin your friends. Once you exit, Magna enters, closes the door behind him, leaving you all alone for a moment in this room.
What'd you think?
Did anyone get a good future?
I didn't.
It was most enlightening.
Can I insight check defect?
Sure.
Oh god.
You get advantage because you know defect?
Sure, but even with an 11, defect is kind of hard to read in the moment.
Cold, you might say.
Is he cold as ice?
Willing to sacrifice.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We've seen it before.
What? Do we believe this? Is that what we're doing? We're believing this?
I mean, fate can always change. That's the fun part of fate. It's never totally sealed.
future? Is this fate?
Who knows? There's only one way to find out.
I mean, like, keep living, right? Just, like, keep doing things.
Yeah.
Okay, so... What? What did we just do?
I'm not so sure. I of course thought of questions to ask after I left the room, but I don't
Well,
know why this happened.
I tried
Did the
asking
skull tell you
questions, and she
how
said
it
that
was
she
made?
wasn't going to really answer any.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
She's apparently really
Whatever.
old.
Whatever Deep thought that defect was in, he kind of snaps out of it now and just says, "You know what? This is stupid. Let's get out of here."
Yeah.
well,
I
that's
might not say that in the powerful being's home that we're in.
Is it a powerful being? She's really old, really big.
I have no idea.
You can shuffle really fast, and that skull is really cool. Did anybody else talk to the skull?
yeah.
Everybody.
Did it tell you
Yes.
anything interesting?
No,
It wouldn't
No.
talk to me. It was
I
kind of mad at me because I
I
talked to it too
oh
much.
yeah. You don't say.
I had a fun conversation with the skull.
I feel like Spoot should have like a shade fan and just be like,
Oh,
Like a
that
drag
actually was
queen.
very out of character. Actually, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
"You've just earned your shade fan, Spoot.
So
Well done."
nicely.
Oh.
Rick doesn't realize you're like making a dig.
Well, no, but like what Spoot truly actually meant, because what Greg doesn't know is that like Spoot simply tried to ask its name and it wouldn't give him the answer, and so I can only imagine the nose that Greg's question gets. And I will say that I was like, yeah, I simply introduced myself and I asked if they had a name. It had a name. I pretty much got no answer other than it's a skull.
Names are not things that all creatures give up easily.
Yeah,
I should
but
remember
like,
that.
I asked if it had always been a skull, or if like there was a cool story, and it like said no. You're supposed to go talk to the big lady. I mean, it didn't say big lady.
I mean,
I don't remember what it said, but
asking strangers their origin story is also, potentially not something everyone wants to volunteer.
Yeah, exactly. And Nereus will look at Grig.
what?
Oh,
We came to this
nothing.
lady so that she would tell us our origin story, apparently.
No, the cards tell you your future, or your fate, or all parts of it. It doesn't
Well, they
tell
talked
you
about the
any
past,
one
and then
thing.
the present, and then the future. Right? She did that, right? That's what
At
she
this
did for me.
point, the doors open
Different?
and Magna re-enters the room, carrying a tray of what appears to be a mismatched tea set and like little like cookie type things. And he's carrying it in his arms, and like with his like big meaty crocodile tail, he closes the door behind him, just kind of flicking it shut. "Welcome. I hope all your readings were pleasant. Please enjoy this specialty tea on courtesy of Persephonia the Veil Piercer. It is Bad Bull for Hawk's tea. Very rare, but tasty."
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
Olive will take a cup and sniff it.
It smells like warm, like in a weird, like comforting, like warm wool.
WOOL?
Yeah, WOOL. Like
Wet sheep?
no, not wet sheep. Like a warm sweater, like that comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Like no, not wet sheep. And also
What does
like,
that smell like?
and also like grass and maybe a little citrusy.
Interesting.
Olive will pretend to take a sip and just hold the cup.
Okay. He passes around the tray. And
Defect doesn't take it.
and then puts it on a table which wasn't there before but now is. And says, "Enjoy yourselves. We'll be arriving shortly."
Wait,
And-
arriving where?
And leaves the room again.
What? Why are we going someplace?
I have no idea.
This is
didn't-
definitely more complicated than
About like
like
10 minutes or
Marshmallow
so
or
go
something.
by.
We didn't leave anything
Yeah.
or anyone outside, did we?
I hope not.
Nope.
Hadoop.
No, Paduke entered with you and has been invisible the whole time.
Right.
Were we unable to leave? Is that what just happened?
They said we're arriving somewhere.
Wonder
Apparently
where
this
we're
is
arriving.
Are we going
Some
someplace?
form of transport.
What's happening?
After about 10 minutes, he comes back and says, I hope you have all enjoyed your tea and snack. Please follow me, we have arrived.
While he was gone, Olive would have poured like half the cup out onto the floor and now takes the half a cup and sets it down.
To the floor.
Did that-
So I
did-
would press the digitation that if I saw it.
Just to digitate that shit.
Did anyone drink the tea out of curiosity?
No,
No.
No.
I didn't.
I would have sniffed it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
Olive-
you got the same
Yeah.
sense. Whatever this bad
What do you
wool for
think?
Hawk's tea is. It smells like comforting and like not bad. And it just looks like regular kind of like tea.
Before she puts the cup down, Olive will just like stick the tip of her tongue in it and taste it without actually swallowing any.
It is surprisingly like pleasant. Like you weren't sure because like you were, for whatever reasons, you were like not trusting of it, but like it's a good tea. And then you realize it's got a kind of a bitter aftertaste, and you instinctively reach for one of the like little cookies and take a bite, and it perfectly complements and balances it out, and brings new depths of flavor to the tea.
Suspicious.
Olive's still going to put the rest of the cup down.
Mm-hmm. Magna kind of bows to you all. Please, we have arrived. If you will follow me, and leads you back out the foyer from the waiting room to the main door.
Okay, where are we?
You
We'll
are
follow
where
him.
you are where you should be.
That's not very heartening.
Where should we be?
Where you were supposed to.
Right here.
Really? I
What's out the door?
know where I should be?
He opens
Open
Can we
the door.
see out the door?
Yeah, he opens the door and walks outside.
Can we see
I
anything
follow
through the
him.
door?
Yeah.
I followed
You see
back.
kind of like a road kind of off in the distance, a little bit like 100 feet away, with a bunch of like trees all around it.
We see Defect walk out into that.
Yeah,
I'm
and he's-
following.
Followed by Greg.
you're off of like a side of a road, a good like 100 or so feet away from the edge of a road. No one else around, but it looks to be just road.
Do I
Right.
recognize
Olive
this
will
road?
take a beat. Olive will take a beat to make sure that they continue to walk out and are not like promptly like stomped by something, and then follow.
Yeah. Yeah, do you all exit?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Once you are all out, Magna bows once again and says, "This is where you would be if you had not come. So, thank you for your appointment and patronage. Please,
Wait,
enjoy your evening." And he walks back inside and closes the door.
but how did you know where we were going? And then why did we have
Too
an
late.
appointment? What is going on?
Yeah, he's already closed the door and left you behind.
This is
Welcome
weird.
to the world of magic,
Does it
Greg.
go away? It went away. The whole thing wasn't even there. It was just a floating door, wasn't it?
No, where he closed the door, you see the house, like with the crooked
house.
tower and like the big thorny bushes out on the outside of it.
Spoot
The
checks
house
the.
is
What?
Sorry. I think I'm behind. Spoot checks the pocket where they put the emerald.
It's still there.
Okay, good.
Hey, Paduke, you still with us?
Yeah?
Good.
Would it be rude for me to knock on the door?
I don't think you want to do that.
I think we should let this go.
Do you think that she's actually a wizard, not just a fortune teller? Because they have towers that are crooked and too. Does that make
It's
more
just a
sense?
house.
Because it doesn't, there's like the card thing. That's like.
Paduk
but the
pops out of invisibility, and he's got a look on his face you've never seen.
What's
What?
going on, Paduk?
We should go. We should do what we're doing.
How do you know this person?
Not personally, no.
She didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Okay, so dish.
Yeah, when we're not like right on her doorstep.
I
Okay.
concur.
That's fair.
Let's
All
go.
right, let's start walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
What time of day is it now? Is it like the middle of the day? How much time were we in this house?
You were in that house for a couple of hours between all the interactions, but you have made it to. Well, actually, make a survival check.
Yeah, do I recognize this place?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Is this a party-wide survival check?
Yeah, anyone who wants to can make one. Cool. So Olive, with a 13, looking at the sun, it looks like the same amount of time has passed. Because you had flown for 5 hours and had just finished like a 6 hour, so it's like late afternoon, mid to late afternoon now.
That's kind of relieving.
Which tracks. You don't know exactly where this is, but Spoot, with a 28 survival check, you recognize this stretch of road as being a couple of days' walk north of Winton.
Oh, I've been here. Is that Spoot?
Aww.
We are maybe 2 days from Winton, depending on how we walk, I suppose.
Right,
Oh,
right.
exciting.
Yeah.
Well then,
Good.
shall we
I know a great
walk
pub.
away?
No, we can camp.
I think we
It's-
should walk a bit further away.
Yes, I think I agree with Paduk on this one. And it's a bit
Let's
early.
find a
to
new
camp.
clearing.
Yeah, so you begin walking south, I assume, on the road?
Yes.
Cool. So you begin walking south, and as you kind of turn around a corner and lose sight of the cabin, you all hear a very loud, like...
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry. Like a big... I don't know if the mic is transmitting it or not.
Not quite, but we
It's
get the
not
point.
at
Yeah.
all.
That's the idea.
It sounds
Your
like
mic apparently thinks that's
Yeah.
ambient noise.
ma-
Do sound
massive,
effects.
massive footprint, like massive footfalls, like boom, 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 boom.
Interesting. Fee fi fo fum.
Kind of getting fainter and fainter.
We heard footsteps before we saw them, didn't we?
You heard
Who's
you heard
them?
something.
Who's
Well,
them?
The crocodile dude. Like before we saw him earlier today, there was some
Mm.
noise.
I swear this is we had a Miyazaki like moment.
Who's Miyazaki?
An old friend.
They sound like a great person.
They're pretty interesting.
So you all walk away for a while, head a little bit south. It's late afternoon, so you can walk as much as you want, as much as you would care to. Or you did finish a short rest, so you do have the option of like eagling again.
Well, if
Yeah,
we already
I
did
have-
5 hours, I can't do any more.
Well, you
I
didn't do it.
have-
You didn't do it 5 times because you've done it 4 times, but Olive just did a rest so that she could do it her 5th time.
Okay,
Yes,
so we have
I
one more
have-
to go.
Yeah, you have
I
one
have
more
one
usage
more
today.
spot.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
we
down
get
to
Another
fly.
flight in.
Just walk. No, we're good. Walking is fine. It's a beautiful day.
Are you tired of flying, Greg?
I might be also.
No one asked you, Spoot.
Well,
that was
then.
rude.
You're gonna be an
I-
eagle, and you're gonna like it.
Saying that is like, wow.
I like roads, okay?
Maybe my legs are tired.
Well, I know the way. You can eagle ahead if you need.
Tempted
Defect,
to
would
turn
you want
Scoot into something small and crawling.
No. A turtle?
Defect, would you like to carry me?
Defect just looks at Nereus, turns around, and just starts walking.
Oh, I would have loved it if you had just picked him up.
Princess style.
Yes. I tried. I guess
And-
we're walking.
Yeah. You don't meet anyone else on the road, and the sun begins to dip, and you can make camp fairly easily.
Of course, fun.
10 minutes later, the tent is all set up.
That tent is so cool.
Right?
Where did you get it?
Have you
We
not
found
seen
it.
this yet?
No.
We
don't think so.
Reclaimed
Found
it.
it.
Yeah, we've sort of reclaimed it from some would-be roadside bandits.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't we kill a bunch of people and then take it? That sounds right.
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
How, kind of you.
Well,
Well, I mean, they attacked us first.
Yes,
If I
they
recall
were.
correctly. It was self-defense.
They were given ample opportunity to leave without fighting. In fact, one of them did. I almost said chose to.
That would be a strong word for it.
You all
They're
seem
very
like you've had
intimidating.
some interesting encounters.
Yeah.
It's been a time.
Have
One
have
time
they
there
told
was
you
a
about?
bush that just wouldn't leave me alone?
One time, Greg stole some berries from some trees, made them very angry.
Elk.
Greg
Oh,
has not.
yeah.
Oh yes,
That worked out well in the end. Those
Greg,
are useful. We
that is
used them.
true. Greg has not had a good time with plants in hindsight.
No.
No.
What did you do to the plants?
Well, that one time, all I was doing was walking in the woods, and it wouldn't leave me alone. It just kept trying to kill me. Another time, I thought it was a cactus, and it wasn't, and it tried to kill me. And then
I think you poked it,
there's
didn't
the
you?
time that I don't know. I didn't.
No,
touch it.
Greg simply got close enough to inspect it, but not that close, if we're being
It
honest.
was blue. It was weird. I wanted to know what it was.
Fair.
Interesting. You all sound like
Chances are
you've had
good.
quite the time.
Oh
Chances
yes,
are
we.
good. If Greg sees something interesting, you should be prepared for it to then attack us.
Yeah, we also angered a group of gang members in a large organized crime mob.
To be fair, they're the worst. Okay,
That's
we didn't
true.
anger them. They deserve it.
Well, we tried to liberate the small town that they had taken over, and
We did liberate the small town. That was my small town. Thank
we
you very
did.
much.
I know,
True.
and they
And
may
then
or
we
may not have.
also mostly killed most of them and got them kicked out of town. So I think that we're on the plus side. Although the next time I see Bodo, I'm gonna kill him.
I feel like Spoot just has like an almost imperceptible every time someone says like we killed someone. Like, oh yeah, the more we tell these stories, the more there is a lot of killing.
So
I've had-
the tent finishes being set up, and Paduk just like darts inside.
Inside
You have
Jack.
to tell us what you know.
Oh
I
no, we
will.
follow him inside. Follow him inside and get comfy. It's story time.
Yeah, so you all get inside there, and Paduk is like pacing in the middle of the floor, so you all kind of like sit on bedrolls. And Paduk just goes, "Okay, look. So I'm a sprite. You know this, right? Like,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Okay, that's who I am. So I am a creature of a different plane. I'm extraplanar. I'm from the Feywild originally.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
and now there's a cat on stream. Our views just went
It's
up by like
Gray.
10%.
Sorry, continue.
So, because I'm a Fey thing, or Fey being, I'm familiar with other Feys, and she was a Fey being. She was an extremely powerful Fey being. I wouldn't say she's I mean, like, I didn't meet her, so, but, like, from the description you all gave, sounds like she's some form of a hag. And she's... I mean, hags are weird. Like, they're generally not very nice, but she didn't, like, do anything to hurt anybody, so I don't know.
Just told us some mediocre fortunes.
Did we do a bad thing, Patuk?
No. Not like on its face. Like, there's no, like, negatives to, like, meeting a hag, and especially if you get out without, like, making a deal or something, so that's good.
That was my fear, I must admit.
Did she tell all of you that you were going to like have to make really careful choices, or you're going to be doomed, basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
There was a lot of
little
doom.
bit.
Evidently, I in the future succumb to my doubts and fears, and that could spell doom, and maybe lead to madness. So that was troubling.
Huh. Well, she just like made up a bunch of lies about, how I would
Yes.
have to
Insight
not ask
check?
questions.
Make an insight check.
Could I argue? Well, let's see what happens. I almost want to argue for passive, but we'll see what happens.
No, this is a very specific thing triggering something.
That's fair.
So, Greg, or Amber, why don't you tell me what Spoot learns about Greg in this moment with a 27 insight check?
Nothing that Spoot doesn't already know.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought, actually.
Just
Greg's full of
that
it.
Greg is like trying to convince themselves that it was nonsense. Doesn't see a reason why it wasn't nonsense, but also it was unsettling. So it's nonsense.
I mean, it kind of sounded like, maybe she told y'all something different, but kind of sounded to me like, what you could tell everyone, like anyone who comes in for a tarot reading, is likely to make some bad decisions in their future or whatever, and they might be really, or they'll have some decisions to make that could be really bad, or they might not be.
Tarot readings are very subjective.
I must say that this is my first time. But
have you ever met anyone who didn't have decisions to make in their future?
Right? I think that she just wanted to make us question ourselves and all of our choices to make us worse at living. Maybe she doesn't want
I wonder why they wasted 2 hours of our time and what was actually on the road between where we got into that house and where we get out of that house.
I did want to ask why, but I didn't think of it in time.
Also, who knew that a house could walk or move? I do not appreciate being moved without my consent.
That is a fair point. I suppose we did
the
travel.
house itself may have not moved, but more of was a doorway.
Ugh, those doorways never work right, though.
It sounded like it had footsteps.
We tried some of those once with the last guy that was hanging out with us. He who shall not be named. It never worked out. Something weird would always come through, and it didn't stay open very long.
That's true. It is a very dangerous road, I think we
Well,
learned.
If they are as powerful as Paduke says, maybe they can keep them open for longer.
Yeah, but why do it for us? That's not cool.
It seems that they didn't mean any immediate ill will. I don't know if they gained anything by meeting us. I'm certain that they already knew our name before we gave it, so I'm not so afraid of that.
Well, if there's...
Right, but what did they gain by distracting us for a couple of hours?
I can't tell.
We may never know. Powerful beings always have reasons for doing things.
Ugh.
Generally that they don't share with us.
Ugh.
Also, that tea was weird. The cookies were pretty good, but the tea was a little weird.
Maybe Spook should do a medicine check on everyone that had tea.
That would be just me. So
Yeah, you check out Olive. She's fine.
Copy that. Sorry, there's a big car. It was so cute. There's a big car that went by, and this cat's like,
So you all continue this conversation for a little while. And before you bed down for the night, we're going to take a break.
no.
So we will take a short little 5-minute break. We will be right back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Thank you, I've Got It, for redeeming the pick an accent reward, which is where the talking skull came from.
That was
excellent.
fantastic.
Yes, they chose Valley Girl. So there you
Amazing.
It's a very sassy skull.
go. And thank you to Bad Bool for Hawks for redeeming the Become a Reference reward and
I was
becoming
gonna say
a T.
becoming tea.
Yes. So now Bad
be
Bool for
worse.
Hawks is tea that exists out there. So,
You taste funny.
good job.
You're now canon.
100% canon.
But you
So
taste funny.
So thank you all very much. We're going to take a quick 5-minute bio break, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hang out. Get a snack. Get a glass of water or other beverage. I don't know. I don't live your life. You live your life. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Stick around, and we'll see you then. All right. Bye, everyone. We'll be right back. Short rest. Just a little. All right. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thanks for sticking with us while we took our short rest. We are going to pick right back up where we were. Our friends here, Grig and the Misfits, were just having a little discussion in their tent about the events that just transpired and their interaction with Persephonia, the Veil Piercer, and how much stock and faith they put into her readings.
TBD. Jury's out.
Yeah. If you want to have any other discussions, you are free to do so. You can set watches, do the long rest thing.
Let's have some discussion.
Go for it.
Spoot didn't really make a list. I mean, sorry, Matt didn't really make a list for Spoot because it was a busy day, but Spoot will try. Spoot will try nonetheless.
Well, Greg is back, so we know Greg always has questions.
Exactly. And Spoot will get the ball rolling. So we'll say, if it's okay with everyone, I know we've been, a lot of us have been apart for some time, and Nereus is obviously new to the party. I thought we could, I don't know, maybe just talk with each other more. It's something I think we probably were not so good at in the past. And for instance, we never asked Olive what she was doing on that little hiatus before she rejoined us. Maybe Olive should start by telling us that.
Well, I think we should start with where we are now. We got the story from Paduk. Does he have more to say about Persephonia, or was that the whole story?
Nope, that was it. That's all he's got. He was uncomfortable, but nothing bad seemed to have happened. The one thing he'd say is none of you said I understand or I agree or anything like that, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool. As long as you didn't make any deals or anything, you should be fine.
Oh, I need to tell you all something. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We all heard what went on. How do we feel about the path that we have laid out for ourselves? Nereus, are you comfortable joining us as we venture into Winton?
Well, I told you I had an interesting encounter there. We might have some run-ins with some cultists if you hang out with me.
Do you mind sharing anything about this that might prepare us for the possible encounters?
I mean, they didn't seem particularly strong. There's just possibly lots of them, or they try to pretend to be people that we can trust. And I'm not exactly the best, most well-hidden person.
I can't say that any of us really are, perhaps, except Paduk.
That in itself is fair.
Do you mind, if you don't mind me asking, what were your dealings with them again?
It's an anti-god cult, and they wanted to use me as some form of sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
What?
Pitchforks and everything,
I mean,
You didn't... they just captured you on the streets? Or,
One of them pretended to be a friend, and
someone you
was
thought you knew?
Yeah.
I'm going to interject here.
Oh.
I think you are misremembering.
Am I?
Yeah.
Because I remember there was someone who...
The friend that you are thinking of, you were both chased by that group, and then you split up, and they seem to follow you.
Okay, because I thought there was someone who was like, "Hey, you should come check these people out."
That was true, but that wasn't in Winton.
No, that's I'm talking about the origins of it.
And I see. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Pre-Winton.
Yeah, pre-Winton.
I thought you were talking about Winton. My mistake.
No, not this time.
Sorry. Continue. Nothing happened.
No, they pretended to be a friend, and then I went to one of their meetings, and they tried to sacrifice me, and I narrowly got out. Scarred my beautiful face.
What, were you at the meeting?
Did they
joined?
Huh?
Were they looking for you specifically, or were you just like the first person they encountered?
Seemingly me specifically.
Cool. Do you have the ability to disguise yourself?
Nope.
Do you think there's something about you that they were interested in?
I honestly have no idea.
I mean, if you can cast polymorph, you could cast it on yourself.
Is someone of your magical abilities unique?
I mean, I gain it from my bloodline, so I'd imagine so.
That might be something that occultists might be interested in.
Quite possibly.
Sorry, I'm hearing myself. Let me fix that.
Yeah, there's a weird echo.
Or do I have you guys too high?
I think it's me. No, it's not me.
Is that better?
Yes.
La 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 la. Yeah.
Okay.
It's live, everybody. Welcome to live theater.
Spoot just starts speaking in Aquan. What's going on? What was I saying?
So what is unusual about your bloodline that they're so interested in it?
They honestly, like, there's not many of me, I've been told. I'm what did that person call me? Azima?
Who?
Sure.
Azima. A child of a celestial.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it seems to come with
That's
certain
real.
benefits.
Well, I mean, you've been granted some magical abilities, it seems.
Yeah, it's giving me some fun things I can do.
Can
No,
you
it seems-
fly?
Temporarily. Only for maybe a minute at a time.
Still pretty cool. I mean, given that I can fly for 4 hours at a time, or 5 hours at a time now.
Yeah, your flying is cool. It's not as cool as mine. No, I'm just joking. Well, there seems to be some mystery around your background. I hope you don't mind if us prying. Just trying to, figure out what we might be walking into. I'm understanding more and more as I travel. There are much larger forces at play than I ever thought were possible, and people with backgrounds as unique and as varied as I couldn't even imagine, even with all that I've read. Contrast, I come from a pretty simple origins myself, and if it helps to make you more comfortable talking about yourself, I am happy to share anything.
No, I mean, as long as you're not going to sacrifice me to anything, I have no issues sharing.
I mean,
No.
I mean, we don't have any immediate plans to.
if it's a choice between you and Defect, I might pick Defect, but
No.
if I could help you both, I probably would.
That's totally fair. Defect is interesting. You two seem very close.
No, Defect is the best.
No, Greg is the best and the strongest.
Defect does have those arms.
Yeah, and a brain and a heart.
Have I insight
Well,
checked Nereus on the?
A knife, but
What do you want to do?
Have I yet to insight check Nereus on the defect comments?
Yes, you have.
I thought so.
You did it once. Yeah, you did it once before.
He's intrigued.
I mean, Defect is unusual.
He's also trying to up the ego of the one that can stand between him and a bunch of cultists.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you
Defect,
have to up his ego for that.
Flattery will get you
Defect,
everywhere.
Defect, remembering his fortune, says, "Yeah, I'm one of a kind."
oh, insight check.
Yeah, make an insight check, Greg, with
I
advantage.
would love to give you guidance, but I don't know you're doing it.
18.
You don't need it.
There was something in Defect's tone that was like, even though he said something like "I'm one of a kind," there was something in the tone that belied the statement. Like,
I mean, as far as I'm aware, I'm one of a kind too, so I can relate a little bit there.
I mean, speechless. Yes, you're all one of a kind, and I sincerely mean that. I think we all are to a degree. There are loads of turtles about.
Is there a large turtle population?
What yeah, I don't know what you would define as large, but yeah, there are many. It's a bit regional. I don't obviously see many out on the roads, but I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I unfortunately can't relate. Although I feel now I mean, I miss it, my home, but I don't need to be there. I think I've sort of found I'm very comfortable with you all, and I'm quite happy with the uniqueness of our motley bunch.
I mean, there are half orcs out there, but a lot of them are drowned at birth, so you know.
Well, I think there might be some more things to unpack with Olive.
I don't. Do you
They generally don't happen on purpose.
do you guys just suck at swimming or something?
Did you give birth underwater?
I swim perfectly well. Y'all saw me. Alright, Nereus didn't, but I swim perfectly well as an octopus and a shark.
I have a feeling not all half-orcs are also octopi and sharks.
and by the way, you all have met many half-orcs in your travels.
It's true.
Yeah, we've killed them.
Not all of them.
No.
Some of them have been simple shopkeeps.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Yes.
In fact, there are
Oh,
tons of
wow.
half-orcs back in Fey Harbor. Like, they're populous.
That's fair.
Okay, fair. Perhaps Olive was being overdramatic.
A little bit.
I'm not speaking for all of it all. I'm just like the group as a whole has interacted with numerous half-orcs.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we've had our fair share of unknown origins in our party, I should say. And while I think that our current mission is quite important, I don't want to lose sight of the chance of discovery. I don't know if there's anything we might discover in Winton. Spoot might cast the slightest of looks at Grig, and if anyone needs some time to explore anything of their own, I think that please let me know. I feel like I have drug us all into something on this journey to Winton, and I just want to make sure everyone is comfortable joining me.
I mean, as far as I know, it's just another city.
Well, I know of at least one pub that's got a great basement.
They don't sacrifice Asmar in the basement, do they?
Wait, what was your question?
I would hope they don't. Not a pub I would care to go to.
All you need to know about Winton is that it's the worst. It's fine. We'll go get the shard and then we'll leave. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's the worst. We don't need to stay there. We're just gonna go. We're gonna get the shard and we're gonna leave. That's
Grig,
it.
would you prefer not to go?
Yeah. I don't
But
have
we were
any
going
go
there-
there, but we have to get the shards before Bodo does. And if we go there and Bodo's there, then we get to kill him. So it'll be fine. We're just gonna go. We're gonna
I
leave.
thought we were going there to destroy the Heart of Oaks.
Yeah. Also, there's a shard there.
I believe there is more to be done in Winton than simply destroying the soul of
There's
this
a
great
fragment.
village.
Yeah. There's the fragment thing.
We may be far
Mhm.
too late for it, but the group that I saw traveling toward Winton before we made it to the Burning Forest? I forget the name. Embering Elms?
Yes.
Embering Elms.
Yes.
Wait, is one of your gems in Winton?
Well, there might have been.
Yeah,
But we didn't go to it first because we figured
we
it was already
believe
done.
so.
But if we're here,
It is heard that yes, the that one of the pit fighters has one in the belt in their champion belt.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Of a dragonborn champion. From the in their their wrestling championship belt or whatever the heck it is. Their pit fighting championship belt is apparently embedded with a shard. A surge shard. Say that 10 times fast.
yep. Fine, we'll slip
That.
in.
Sorry.
You're naughty. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're just
Take
gonna-
4d10 psychic damage, Spoot.
You deserve it.
You know what you did.
I don't know why you're leaving me. It's fine. I
Well,
don't really want to go. I'm from there. It's the worst. It's fine.
I lived. Okay, well. Defect? Any opposition?
None at all.
Nearest, this may come as a strange question, but because I'm not entirely sure the whole of this party could answer this question right now, but what is it that you want to do? And why are you traveling with us?
Left.
Oh,
you
no.
broke up.
Oh no, inside check! He's a robot!
Skynet is here.
Agent Smith.
We lost you, Tanner. He's still here?
Give me one moment.
Oh, okay.
Sounds better.
Great. So while Tanner deals with his stuff, you can continue on questions.
They're all directed at Nereus at this point.
Okay.
Who
Cool.
are you? Where have you been?
I mean, I can tell you a story about flail snails if anyone is really interested. It's not
Sure.
very-
Do you have any
not
fun
too
stories
interesting
from that
story.
time you left us? Surely there's something that you did that was exciting.
Sorry, I'm back.
I mean,
Olive was just telling us about the time that she was an octopus.
Oh, interesting.
it was
does
pretty
that
cool.
happen frequently?
Whenever I want to, as long as there's a body of water around to swim in. It's really a kind of a drag being an octopus on land because they can only breathe for an hour before they drown.
I can imagine that wouldn't be preferable.
Yeah, yeah. But in a body of water, they're kind of cool. They can grab things and hold on to things, and they can hold on to lots of things. In the
Eight
water.
things.
Yes.
I'm
Anyway.
very familiar with octopus pie. No, what did you ask? What was my goals? After the cult incident, I left Laurentin, and I just had to get out of there, and I've just been kind of following, where the wind is leading me.
I think I can make you a follower of Farlane with an answer like that.
I think someone might be opposed to that.
You hear
potentially.
outside the tent, you hear a low rumble of like a storm cloud.
I'm sorry, you said someone might be opposed to that? Were you speaking personally?
Olive's gonna stay.
I no. Someone else.
Who? I must ask.
You hear that rumbling outside? It happened as soon as you mentioned Farlane.
That sounds like coincidence.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, admittedly, I probably don't mention him as often as I should is one that is a cleric. And Spoot just starts to ramble off into some.
Olive's gonna stick her head out of the tent and see if it looks like rain.
Perfectly clear sky.
Okay.
See, it's suspicious.
There's no storm out there, guys.
Farlane.
Looks like a very nice night.
I don't think your Farlane is the one controlling the storms.
I'm sorry, who are we upsetting?
I have no idea.
That's vague.
It's as good an answer as you're gonna get from me.
Oh,
Because if I could tell you something else, I would.
I mean, I feel like this is this something we should know? Are we walking into some? Is there someone following you?
Yeah, the cult is.
I mean, the cult.
I see. Are they also have any relation to the weather?
Not that I know of.
Does it always rain where you are?
No. I like
How
when
many
it does,
think of
though.
this? Ugh, it's so wet.
We've even catching some pretty iffy rainstorms. Been swept away by a couple of pretty iffy rainstorms.
That sounds interesting.
And now we're back to the octopus story.
If it rains enough, you can swim. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, while you tell that story, I'm gonna start cooking food.
What was it that I was supposed to ask last week? This is out of character. What did we decide? You can speak Goliath
Me?
or giant?
No.
Or you knew a Goliath or a giant? I can't remember which it was now.
Neither.
Okay, now I think you, Tanner, are messing with me.
Way back when you first met, Greg bombarded Nereus with a bunch of questions, and it's like, and including about Oligar Greyclaw, and like mentioned Goliath, and there's like, "Are you friends with the Goliath? Do you know Goliath?" Da 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 da, in a very Greg type way, and Nereus responded, "Well, my brother's a Goliath."
Oh, that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes, I have held on to this for a while, but you had once mentioned that your brother was a Goliath. I've always found that kind of humorous. Was there any meaning in that, or was that a joke?
No, my brother's really a Goliath. Why would that be funny?
No, I don't know. I've never met someone with a brother who was not, didn't look very similar to themselves.
Well, all of my siblings aren't like each other. Well,
Ah,
not all of them, but some of them are.
how do you define sibling? I
Wait, so
wonder.
sibling for which parent?
My parents take in kids that don't have parents.
Oh, so like adopted.
Yeah.
So do they, like, have you go and like pick pockets and stuff to bring back money?
Oh my
No,
God.
the captain that protects the quarter, she there's some people that she trusts to, raise kids without parents, or parents that die in her service. And like that were very well taken care of.
And you had to work, right?
Eventually, yeah. We all
but,
do.
like, so that you could stay in the house.
No. I could have stayed there and not worked if I wanted to, but I chose to contribute.
Seem like very lovely people.
They really are. But
They're just nice.
some of my older siblings aren't the nicest. Which is the Goliath one. He wasn't a particularly kind person.
Well, we've only met one, but he was also
He was
not
the all
particularly
worst.
kind.
Wait. Are you sure your brother isn't that same Goliath? Are all Goliaths
Not the same.
mean?
I mean,
I
not
don't
the
know.
same
Go
name.
for a walk.
Okay, bye.
Well, I'm sorry. I probably have overstepped the boundaries with so many questions, so I'll let you cook, and I'm just going to take a little moment to myself outside. If I can get you any ingredients, I'm happy to do so.
I mean, if you want to find some actual meat for this stew.
Yeah, I could do that. Have we passed any large bodies of water recently?
Not in the last couple
We're in
hours.
the
No.
middle of the forest.
Well, that's a shame. And it's a little hard to fish in the forest, but I'm sure that can come up with something. Olive, you want to give me a hand?
Sure.
I know how much you like killing
All right.
things.
Spoot / Olive, you can make a survival check at advantage to see how. One of you can make a check at advantage to see how good you are at trapping. All right. So Spoot and Olive go off into the forest to try to find stuff. Nereus begins boiling water, cooking a
More
stew
rice.
out.
To prestidigitate.
And Greg and Defect kind of go for a little walk.
We're checking the perimeter.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
The camera shifts over to Greg and Defect. What are you doing on your walk?
Grig is just like randomly picking things up and putting them down, nervously, and not looking at Defect, except sideways, and then says, "You sounded weird. Why are you weird?"
The voice I'm been born with. My voice always sounds weird.
No, not like weird, but like weird. When you said one of a kind.
Yes, it was something the fortune teller had told me. And I'll go into a quick recap of what the cards were drawn. The cards that were drawn for me, like what she had said that it meant for me. So I'll explain that to Greg. And so, I think it's my future that troubles me. This idea that I will be alone.
Yeah, but you already know that's wrong, right? You're stupid.
Did a fortune teller tell you something else?
I mean, she did, but that doesn't mean it's real. She's just messing with us. She was the worst.
The Defect kind of ponders it for a beat, and then asks Greg, "Do you miss Adis?"
Don't tell him, but maybe. I don't like when. I mean, it's different. It's different, right? It used to be just us, and that was really good. And then there were others, and that was weird. And then it got good. But now it's weird again. But you and I stayed, so that's good. And we'll always stay. That lady was lying. She said I was going to be alone too. It's fine.
He said you would be alone?
Yeah, and there are lots of goblins. So, she's full of lies.
I mean, she said I was one of a kind, and there's not, from what I remember, not many of us left. Thinking back to that conversation with the what's his name?
Umbradius.
I wrote it down. Radius, you said?
Umbradius.
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 Which I definitely wrote down as Armbradius.
I did too, actually. I wrote down Armbradius.
No.
And then AKA Umbra?
Yes.
That's Umbra the...
Yes.
Okay.
Umbra is Umbradius. Yeah.
Anyways, Olive left for a little bit and then came back. And then Spoot left for a little bit and he came back. And I think Adis will come back too. But I wonder if I too will have to leave for a little bit.
But wouldn't leaving
Those
be...
like me are looking for me, as you know. And I wonder if I will have to leave to find out more about who I am. I don't want to leave you, Greg. You've been the best part of my life since you saved me. But I feel there are forces kind of pulling me in that direction. And then I don't know. Don't tell the others, but I think it scared me.
It's okay to be scared. I'm always scared. But if you go, I will miss you. Also, I might follow you. To be fair. Because, I mean, really, if you go, then you'll be alone, and that is no good. I mean, you with others, but you can be alone when you're with others. I know that. And especially, even if they're, like, the same as you, but they're not the same as you, and you're different, and you want to be better different, not bad different. But yeah, if you go, I'll follow you.
It might be dangerous.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess Defect will look at Greg when Greg is not looking, and just half smirk, and just continue our little patrol around the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Greg will just continue to pick up something and look at it as if it's interesting, and then chuck it in the woods, and then pick something else up.
And then they have a rock throwing competition.
I was gonna say, Defect is
Right.
you have a good throwing arm.
We'll just start throwing things. We'll just start throwing things. Yeah. Just look sideways. And
So
the
the camera pans away as you two start just chucking random shit into the woods.
This is the most adorable thing.
We
don't pan away. I'm just being a boring turtle.
We pan back to Nereus at the cooking pot. And Nereus, you see that
not throwing anything.
Paduk has taken it upon himself to aid you in various parts of meal prep. And it's just kind of chattering away in a very pleasant, non-committal sort of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of just basic pleasantry kind of stuff. It's just getting to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's being nice.
Yeah. In a weird way, it reminds you of home. Because it's somebody who's very different, chatting about their day and
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he is helping to prepare food, brings back a lot of memories of you and Mama Joy.
Okay. Cute.
Yeah. But yeah. Eventually, Spoot and Olive return, laden with a brace of conies, all butchered nicely and skinned and ready to go in the pot. And you all...
For the record, we were throwing things at them, too.
Great.
All hunts with a sling.
Great.
Such a throwing success.
Love that. So yeah, you all reconvene.
It's the only ranged weapon I've got.
And eat up some stuff. Eat up some foodage.
It's spicy.
Put it in there.
You don't like it.
It's good, but it hurts.
I don't think it's a fan of the spicy either.
Do you want me to change the flavor?
He can do it.
That's a thing? How do you
Yeah,
do that? Wait, how? Show me. I want to do it.
magic. And I'll just tap Grig's bowl, and it changes to like a sweet flavor,
How'd you do that?
or like savory.
Teach me.
It's just a spell. It's really simple, actually.
Okay, how do you do it? Teach me.
All right. And I'll just like say the slight incantation and tap the bowl again, and it's back to spicy.
I'm gonna try it.
Nothing happens when you do it, Craig.
Not gonna work. Yeah. How come it worked for you? This is weird.
Well, it's my spell. I mean, it's not mine, but if you don't know the spell, it won't really work.
Sometimes they work when I don't know them. I try them a lot and then they work.
But practice makes perfect.
No.
His
practice
magic is
makes
different than
progress.
yours, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Does all the wind stuff and the rain stuff. I want some of that stuff. That's cool. I'm gonna practice that too. Greg just continues
Good
eating
luck.
and muttering over the bowl every other bite.
You all eat up, finish your meal, and it's getting fairly late. It looks like it might be time to start settling in and do watches if you plan on doing watches.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
food.
Probably
I made you
should.
these.
I'm sorry?
I made you these.
Oh, wait, what is this?
Greg hands over like these little skinny wire shaped things that look a little bit like goggle glasses with like awful scratched up glass something, just like scratched something like held into place. It's all kind of like glued together, and there's some attempted ornamentation, but it's like Greg made it.
There's some leaves stuck in it.
So it's like the idea of art executed
Yeah.
way too quickly.
Is there spit?
No, there's some glue and some like twisty bits and
It's like a big wipe mark where you try to clean the lens and made it
yeah,
worse.
definitely. And
Some
mysterious
leaves
trees.
stuck to the sides.
Yeah. Here, put them on. You can see.
Spoot will take these and like it's a moment of like great gravity. Like he doesn't put them on immediately. He like holds them and like looks at them and like turns them a bit. Looks at Krieg like with I don't know, whatever pure approval looks like, and we'll put them on.
You can see now, right?
Uh,
Look over there. It's dark.
yeah, you put them on. You stick your head outside, and for 60 feet, you can see in the darkness in a shade of gray.
Ooh.
So there's just this like
Nice.
pause. Krieg, these are amazing.
Right? I was like thinking because we had the tiara and that works, and you can like sort of, and so that's how defect sees now. And so I was like, okay, well, what if I could like look at the tiara and like imagine how could I focus that into a thing that you could use? And it seemed like glasses because you already had a hat, and you can't wear a hat and a tiara. It would be weird.
Spoot just chuckles.
That'd be really
Thank
poor
you.
fashion choices.
Thank you so much. These are incredible. This is the best gift I've ever been given.
Don't break them. Also, someday I might have to make something more useful and they might stop working. But I'm gonna try not to do that.
Just chuckle again, and I don't know, like Spoot will attempt something out of he will sort of like attempt a half hug out of just like pure, you know, like, oh, thank you so much, but like then halfway through be like, I've never hugged you before. I don't know if you're gonna appreciate it.
Like,
Mushy stuff.
Just like, is this an attack? No.
It's like a half a arm over, pat, and then like, thank you, Greg.
You're welcome. Good night. Greg goes out and takes first watch.
Okay. The night passes without incident. This area is not full of dangerous creatures. So you all get a long rest in. And it is the next day.
means I could
Time
change
to
my
pre-
spells.
I was about to say it's time to
Yeah.
look at spells, which I haven't looked at in a while.
Yeah, you can all do your meditations or prayers or tinkerings or whatever you do to get spells back in the morning. Those of you who get to prep them.
Aww.
Paduk applies a little bit of that salve that Spoot and he whipped up from the 5-leafed alley plant.
Yeah, I would like to check in on
Yeah.
Duke.
He seems to be his normal self, just happily applying a little bit of the stuff. He says like he doesn't think I don't think it'll like heal anything, but it does make it feel better. Like it doesn't like it loosens it so it doesn't like stretch and tear, which is good for the healing. And then he kind of like rewraps his arm with some very tiny bandages that apparently he had.
Aww.
Oh,
Aww.
does he have like a little tiny med kit? What is it called?
He does, yeah. He's got a little tiny first aid kit.
I love
That's
that.
so cute.
Yeah.
He's so little.
He's a 6-inch tall
want-
sprite. Let him
I just
alone.
want him to ride on my sombrero.
You haven't offered
He,
yet.
he can do that.
Oh, this is me, not Spoot. Spoot's like, that's weird. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No. Yes, Spoot will say, well, I don't know if there's anything else I can do for it, but I hope it does heal. And if there's anything I can do, just I'm here.
Call.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew I might get hurt going out on this with y'all, but I think I think it's going to be there, and that's part of what it is. Once it's all healed up, we'll see where we're at, and then
I hope this doesn't sound rude, Patuk. Obviously, I didn't meet you when you joined the party, but why did you decide to join them?
Well, so like I heard about them when they came into the Verdenton Glen, and like I was with my unit there. It was our turn to be on patrol against all the non-elvish people. So I heard about them and kind of like checked them out one night and heard Adis singing or playing a Sylvan kind of tune on his flute. And I was intrigued. I was like, hey, how does this guy know that? So started talking and yeah, just kind of became friends. And so when they left a few days later, I took a leave of absence from my squad because I'm curious about the world beyond the Verdenton Glen. And the Causeway itself. I've been in the Causeway for hundreds of years, and I've seen pretty much all of it at this point. But because of the spell storms and everything, like it's been closed off until the last 5 years. So I took this opportunity and I'm checking it out.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of respect for that. I hope you're enjoying the discovery. I mean,
well, for the most part. And then he kind of points to the arm.
Yeah, as soon as I said that, I'm sorry, Paduk.
Hey, I'm not dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Anymore.
Not dead anymore. Was dead.
Well, thank you, and we'll try to do a little better next time to keep you alive.
Yeah. I mean, it was my own fault. I just kind of stayed there and poof, Dragonfire.
I don't think anyone's to blame. Well, except maybe all of us who did go into the Dragon Slayer.
Well, I'm not one to hold a grudge or whatever. Besides, I've been alive for hundreds of years, so whatever.
Huh. I think you and I should talk one day. I am.
We're talking now.
I'm making a little journal of our travels, and I would love to fill in some extra details about what you know about, anything really. But
Mostly, I know a lot about healing and stuff, and the Verdentious Causeway.
wow, there's a whole section of the Verdentious Causeway that I think
I can't tell you much about it, though.
Oh well, that is fair.
Yeah, state
If he does
security.
tell you, he'll have to kill you.
State security. That's
Yeah.
you know, I'm friends with you all. I'm out here, but I'm still technically a member of the Sprite Guard, so you know.
Are they ever going to require you to return, or can you take a leave of absence for however long you feel?
I took a leave of absence, and they were like, okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's not common, but you know, whatever. They didn't. There's no rule against it. And besides, like, I could die, you know, protecting the Glen, or I could die out here, and you know, whatever.
Well, I hope that you don't.
Well, thanks.
I also assume time must pass a little differently for you, or feel different. I don't know quite what I'm saying, but someone who lives so long.
I kind of live as long as I need to. I don't have like a lifespan, so I'm from the Feywild.
No, there's a lot
like normally sprites are fairly long lived. We usually get killed before anything else happens.
Sorry, Spoon is not laughing.
There's a lot of dangerous stuff in the Feywild.
You've been hanging out with Greg too long.
Yeah, no, Spoon is not laughing. Only Matt is laughing. Well, so far so good. Can't promise anything about what we're about to do next, but I hope it's a little less dangerous than a dragon, at least.
Yeah, for real.
I think with that, Spoot will awkwardly exit the social conversation.
Cool.
As he is so good at.
You all... What was that?
Is that an awkward turtle?
Very much so.
Yeah.
His head just like ducks into a shell.
Paduk finishes up his prayers and like wrapping his arm and all this stuff. And you all can get the tent all folded up and figure out how and what you're going to do for the day.
Keep moving, right?
I imagine so. Are we flying the rest of the way to Winton?
Are we ready to be in Winton? Because flying will get us there pretty fast.
Might as well get it over with, no?
I don't know. There could be something to... There could be some value in walking in. Getting a...
Well, you're not going to want to show up flying. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is also
well,
a
no,
fair point.
but we
You
could
don't
fly
wanna
to
walk up to. You don't want to land and then show everybody the change, because somebody's gonna. Yeah, nope. Bad idea.
No, but it's 2 days of walking, and we could do one of that flying this morning.
Mind at least getting 1 hour's flight in, no?
We don't have to fly all the way there. If we're still 2 days walking away, like, we could...
We used to walk everywhere.
I'm with you, Greg. I mean, the flying has
It's
its
really
perks,
cool. But wait, no.
but
No.
I mean,
okay, fine, we'll walk.
Spoot, flying is just another pathway.
that's... Yeah, I guess I didn't... Yeah, that's true.
Olive gives up. She says, okay, fine, we'll walk, and starts walking.
Well, we could always fly a day's worth of journey, get ahead, and then walk the rest of the way in.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So is that what you're doing? You're using the spell in one beast shape?
I think so,
Who
yeah.
is willing, yes.
Okay. The various eagle people become eagles. Everybody else hops in. Paduk grabs on. He's riding with Nereus this morning, like just kind of chatty. And you fly southwards. You know the direction. You just follow the road. It's not hard. For about an hour. And you feel the spells beginning to give way.
Are there people on the road below us?
Yeah, there's a couple people.
So we would land somewhere off the road.
Sure.
Like not within sight of the road.
Sure, easy enough to do.
far enough into the brush that
Yeah, it's
three giant eagles aren't landing in the middle
yeah,
of the caravan.
it's like this landscape here is like it's very kind of becoming very like sandier ground as opposed to like soily ground. So the trees are fewer and far between, and they're much more like reedy pines and like beech trees and stuff like that. So they're much like, if you've ever been to Cape Cod, it's very much like that kind of environment. But yeah. So you land, revert to yourselves. It's been an hour. You all kind of look around. Go ahead and make survival checks.
Ew.
Olive with a 22 and Spoot with a 25 and Grig with a 19. All of you know that you just need to walk, and you'll probably still make it to Winton by nightfall.
Yep, we should just walk down. Or we could, like, hang out and enjoy the day. Got more questions, Spoot?
Not yet. Sorry. Spoot
Okay.
kind of
Walking.
cast I think Spoot at this point like cast like a knowing glance, like, yeah, I know. Sorry.
So you start walking down the road. There's a few like carts that pass, and some groups of travelers leaving or heading north. None of them seem particularly like dangerous looking. They're mostly just like regular kind of people with like a wagon or a backpack, that kind of thing.
Somewhere along the way, you notice Grig has flipped up the blanket, cloak, put like their jewelry away, and like just changing their look a little bit.
Greg, I'd like you to make a disguise check for me.
Well, I don't know if it's full trying to disguise, but let's do it.
Yeah.
A disguise check would be what, a deception or just a...
You could do a deception check for that.
Whoa.
Well then.
20.
A natural
Unrecognized
20.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way you like
It's like
make like a high collar out of your blanket and like retuck all your jewelry, to like be up in like up on your shoulders, kind of like tucked up in there. It makes your shoulders look like broader and like more like masculine presenting, and the collar makes like draws the attention away from your face, and now with this like Geriatric Park robe, it's got like a little bit of a frayed hood that you like.
I forgot about the robe. Yes, I put on the robe.
Yeah, that you like put up, and like the robe it's been slashed in a lot of places, and like it's made for a much longer person, but like it's got burn edges up it, so like it's just at your ankles instead of being at like someone's waist. So it worked out pretty well, and you look very different. Like if they weren't all watching you do all this, they would not immediately ascribe Greg to this individual.
I'm doing it like little by little too. I'm not like trying to make a deal. I'm trying to do it like on the down low.
Yeah, totally. Cool. But you keep on walking. And as you're walking, you walk by like a group of people. You see this one kind of skinnier human guy with like a little bit of a wispy beard. Looks pretty young, kind of soft looking hair. Kind of singing to himself in like a very pleasant tenor. Just kind of enjoying his little walk. He's got a staff. You see like a book and like an abacus like under his arm tucked. He's just walking, kind of whistling and humming to himself in a very pleasing tenor.
Suspicious.
Inside check.
Make an insight check on him.
One moment. I lost my mouse.
Look for the red
He's carrying
cursor.
an abacus?
Yeah.
Not my best work.
With a 15, he seems happily in his own little world.
What is he carrying?
He's got like a He's got like a ledger and an abacus.
I don't know what that is.
It's like the wood thing with the beads
It's
that you.
It's the pre-calculator calculator, like ancient Chinese.
It's the thing with the beads on the wire.
Invention.
Oh, he's a Catholic priest that is mathematically inclined. I gotcha. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
I don't know where that leap came from, so.
I don't know. Someone said beads before they got to calculator, and that's the first thing I thought of. Was
I mean, it is beads on like wooden dowels. You move them along, and that's how you do
like
your tens and your.
It's like the child toy where you slide the beads over.
Yeah.
But like there's
you would
a
know it
certain
if you
number of
saw
them
it.
count.
Anyway, it's a calculating tool, is what it is.
A primitive and not small calculating tool.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could make them of varying sizes, but it's not a pocket-sized device.
Yeah. He's holding it under his arm along with a ledger of some kind.
What tune is he whistling?
It's a very kind of like happy, peppy, like you could probably like dance to it.
Oh, we definitely should.
Yeah, he's just singing it.
Not.
Does Olive go into a little ditty?
No. Olive does not dance.
Do you interact with him at all, or do you just walk by him?
I would.
What?
Be naughty. Kirk is gonna just bump into him, see if there's anything exciting that will pop out of his pocket or his book.
Make a sleight of hand check.
18.
You kind of like, whoop, and he kind of like, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. And he kind of like keeps on walking. And in your hand, you have a stack of a couple of like thick, heavy, like crudely made pieces of like dense paper that seem to be, they all seem to be the same and have the same writing on them. And you realize there's some kind of like cards that maybe he gives out to people. And they say, Ives got you covered. Traveling accountant.
Oh.
Does anyone notice this sleight of hand? Like,
do any of us notice what she's
does
doing?
anyone have a passive perception of 18 or higher?
Nope.
No.
oh, yikes. No, I don't.
Then none of you notice it. Essentially, you have swiped his business cards.
It's amazing.
I'll just tuck them in one of the many pockets of this geriatric robe.
Yep.
Olive thinks about getting out her bagpipes to play along, but
Yeah, he walks. He's walking in the opposite direction. So
we all shoot Olive a death glare because we all insight checked that she would do that.
Olive will sigh and put them back in her pack.
I send a message. I waste an entire spell slot to be like, "Don't do it, Olive."
Around midday,
None of that.
which is shortly after this happens, Olive, you hear something in your mind. Hi, this is Miggy again. If this is Olive, which it should be, your armor is ready and cost 700 gold pieces. You can contact Seda to arrange pickup and payment. Oh, thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, excellent. Hey guys, my armor's ready back in Fey Harbor.
Oh,
Well, didn't you say you can possibly open a portal to Fey Harbor?
Yeah,
maybe we
apparently
should
it's
do
time to
that.
figure out if we can do that.
We can just go get the armor.
Did we ever... Do we ever split up our large pile of gold? Or is that all in... That's all in Fey Harbor, right?
No, I thought we did some in the bank and some to us.
You all did some in the bank, and I think you did like half in the bank, and then you split the rest of the 5 ways.
Yeah, that sounds
Sadly,
right.
Spoot.
There's but we can't carry all of it. 'Cause
Yeah,
we can't
so
carry.
so like you can all have decided how much you are carrying in person.
Yeah, I didn't put any of that into my inventory, apparently.
Well, then you are carrying none of your wealth, so it's all in a
Great.
bank in Fey Harbor.
Fantastic.
So you just have to contact.
Actually, it's all in a chest in Fey Harbor waiting for you.
I was gonna say, I don't think. I mean, with the exception of the recent dragon treasure, I don't think Spoot has any of this wealth in question.
No, this was
No.
after selling a very huge golden statue they found in the bottom of a lake.
It's okay. Spoot wouldn't care anyway.
Hey,
Share
hey,
a
friends.
little bit.
Hey,
Makes you
friends
feel better.
with,
Nereus doesn't have any money either. So.
That's why he's with us. He's a freeloader.
Yep.
Hey, friends who can send messages long distances. I need to send some messages to Fey Harbor.
I don't know how to do that.
It's bullshit.
I believe, and I guess we'll find out, that I can use this latch blade to open a portal to Kaylin and Adis's apartment. And somehow we need them and Seda to get together and pay the armorer with the money that is sitting in a chest there, and put the armor at a place where I can grab it through the portal.
The message did tell you to contact Seda to arrange pickup.
It did, but I'm pretty sure the blood vial is no longer with Seda, so
You don't know.
we don't know. It's true.
Test it.
Hey,
Yeah, test it. Hang on, let's stop
we
here
do.
and look at it and find out if it works.
Right,
I
but
can
we
do
can
it.
only do this. We can only do this once per day.
I could do this. It'll cost you approximately 137,925 gold pieces, though.
That would be taking
So-
from Grig's money. Good
That
luck
you
with
might-
that.
That you have to
No,
donate to
that's-
charity immediately.
That's not from Grig's money.
No, I said it'd be taking from Grig though.
Oh yeah, no, that's
So, what are you doing?
I don't know. No one's
will
asked me
someone-
anything.
Hey, Spoot, can you contact Seda and see if he can arrange with Adis and Kaylin to get 700 gold from that chest and pay the armorer and put the armor near Adis's blood vial, wherever it is.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this in 25 words or less.
I'm having trouble figuring it with any number.
Now the true test of being a cleric begins.
It sounds like I should send 2 messages, one to Seda and one to Adis.
That's what I was trying to say, but words are hard.
Can we perhaps, do you think it's prudent to wait until the end of the day, just in case we encounter anything
Sure.
else?
Sure.
Spoot immediately has a flashback to the last time he tried to contact Adis in the evening and goes, you know what, I'll call him right now, actually.
That's a good call.
Spoot will just send a message to Adis, and please help me if I say this wrong, to say, Olive, first he'll say, hello Adis, Olive would like you to get 700 gold pieces from a chest to deliver to Adis, to deliver to Seda for payment of new armor.
You get a response back from Adis that says, okay, the blood vials at Seda's office. I'll arrange the gold transfer. Hope you're well. Glad you're alive.
Adis says hello, and that that the blood vial is with Seda, and that he'll arrange it to drop off. So
Thank you.
I'll check in a minute later, I suppose.
Okay, cool. I think, yeah, I don't think it is urgent that we necessarily do this right now unless we think we're going to be.
I
Unless you
will.
think
I
I
will
might need new
also
armor.
say. Well, never mind. I will also say like time is like time zones essentially are a thing, except they're not like time zones, but like it being a little about midday here probably means it's earlier in the day in Fay Harbor.
We'll give him a day, and then I'll maybe call Seda and see if he's got the armor.
All right, we can maybe check in with Seda at the end of the day, as he is less likely to be otherwise occupied.
And can also
You don't
call
know.
me. That's true, and you don't
Can
know
also
why I
call
didn't.
you.
You don't know why I didn't wait to call Adis later either.
True story.
This is private. I'm trying to respect his privacy. Sort of, by also sending messages to his brain.
Violating his most inner thoughts.
By speaking directly into his brain.
It is kind
And
of a weird
asking him-
thing when you think about it, isn't it?
And asking him to run.
Because like
do our shop,
it's
do our
not like
shopping
a
for us.
willing creature, it's just a creature you know on the same plane.
Sure.
Exactly.
It's like, you're going to listen to my voice in your head now for these 25 words. Suck it.
That's why I
Yeah.
love that new Tasha's Pact of the Tome thing, because once a creature signs their name in your Tome of Shadows, you can
Yeah.
unlimited sending them, and they cannot remove their name or unsubscribe.
Yep. It's great.
No. Spam.
I made a character.
Hi, I'm trying to contact you about your wagon's extended warranty.
I made a Pact of the Tome Warlock with that invocation and the invocation where you never need to sleep. So I was just sending like
The
messages to people.
The worst telemarketer ever. All right, back to the game. So great. So you can continue on
Wait.
if you're going
We're
to.
now walking.
Yeah. You spend the rest of the day walking without any real incidents, just occasional passerby, that kind of thing. And you eventually come to a place where you can see the walls of the city of Winton. They are large, kind of ramshackle walls in a way. They are logs and beams and brick and mortar kind of all interspersed together. It's like it's an organic process that keeps moving and growing. And there's some like shanty shacks on the outside. And as you approach the last few miles, you can see like a cup rising up above most of the city itself. You see, pardon me, a couple of different structures. One of them is like fairly low, but the closer you get, the more it's difficult to see. So you see it easier from farther away. It rises up at least twice as tall as most of the buildings around it, with maybe a couple of exceptions. And it seems to be like a flat, even building. Difficult to make out anything else, but it's big. The other buildings that stand out here are three towering spires that are clustered together that exist. And as you approach, there's
Hey, people who
more
have been here
activity.
before, what are they going to do at the gate? Like, are they going to like ask us a bunch of questions or anything? Y'all have been here
Gonna do at
before.
the gate.
Olive has not.
They take your left pinky toe.
What if you've already given it to them?
You can't enter. Clearly.
No, they match up the pinky toe to the stub, and then if it matches, you can enter.
Oh, okay.
You think
Olive's
I'd
going
lie
to
to you?
lace her boots a little bit tighter.
Very cool.
I guess we'll kind of perk up when he sees the towers and goes, and say something like, if at all possible, I think we should just go straight to the towers. Let's get this over with, and he will pat
Those towers?
Yes. Are they inside the city or outside the walls? And
They're in the walls, yeah, like inside the city proper.
Okay.
Think they'll let us in there?
How many pinguitos do you have?
The normal amount.
Spoot doesn't have any, so that's why he's curious.
I'm surprised. I'm wearing sandals. You haven't looked at my feet.
Insight check. Nearest his feet.
They're there.
That's insight. What's his perception?
He's got feet.
He's got feet.
They
He's got
walk.
feet. Apparently, he's wearing sandals and a mini skirt.
Yeah, I suppose we should just find out what happens when we get to the gates.
Cool.
Let's see what our next action is.
Yeah. So you walk up to the gates, and there are some guards there. And they are looking at you all as you approach. There's crowds moving in all the time. Spoot, you notice that they stop people occasionally and like ask questions of people before they let them in. And you catch that pretty much every time they slip the guards a couple of coins.
Oh. Spoot will try to. We'll walk adjacent to Garig before we get there and say, "Is it common to bribe the guards to get in the city?"
I don't know. Is it common?
Mm-hmm. Bribery is extremely common in Winton.
That's what I figured.
I asked you.
I was asking our overlord.
It's in your notes. I know
Ask
it
the
is.
thunderstorm.
It's in your backstory notes.
Oh.
But yeah.
I assumed that it was, but yeah, it's normal. You don't do anything without bribes. It's the worst.
Oh,
Everybody's paying somebody.
do we have enough for a bribe?
It's the only way I go. Do we have enough for? No, we don't.
I think you're lying.
I mean, what kind of bribe are we talking? Are we talking a couple of coppers? Are we talking about
Well,
several gold?
I don't know, actually.
What
Wait,
would
what are you
Greg-
doing here?
Judgment call be.
Yes, Greg, I think that perhaps in this
What am I doing here?
particular
I'm walking in
social
the street.
situation, I am not going to be prepared.
So, as you approach, the guards see you coming because you're a group.
Yeah.
And they stop you and kind of ignore most of you, but walk right up to Defect. Hey, I remember you. You caused a big ruckus when you left town.
Don't remember causing a big ruckus.
Yeah, you jumped out of the frickin' arena. Not supposed to do that.
Well, I didn't want to die either.
Well, then you shouldn't have signed up for a red match.
I didn't sign myself up.
Uh-huh, sure. Everybody signs their own self up for red matches. You can't force anyone to do it. It's illegal.
I'm telling you the truth. But regardless, we want to pass into the city now.
Well, there's no warrant out for your arrest, but we're going to keep an eye on you. 10 gold, get you in.
For all of us.
He looks at the rest of the group. I don't give a fuck about these people. What's this, another fucking goblin? Great, we got enough of those, whatever. Have fun in the trash pile. Half-orc?
Rude.
Dime a dozen. Human? Whatever. Turtle guy's kind of interesting. He might be fun. You good at anything?
Reading?
Alright, well, you're boring.
He is.
I turned to Spoot. It's like, Spoot, be cool, man. Jesus.
Reading is cool. I just want to put that out there. Reading is cool.
Also fishing?
Well, then you'll fit right in.
Do we have a sense of if this is exorbitant or if there's haggling or?
Make an
Rick first.
insight check.
Ugh, 7 this time. Damn it.
Seems pretty stern.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Oh shit! I'm gonna try something just for the fun of it.
Oh dear.
Can
If we had
I?
thought of it 10 minutes ago, it could have turned Defect into a dragonfly, but it's a little late for that now.
Dragonfly.
I didn't realize that I'd be a nearly wanted
Look,
man.
are you? Look, if you want
So-
in, 10 gold. Pony up. Pony
can
up there,
I-
Defect.
Can I use Channel Divinity read thoughts on this person?
Yeah. He's thinking, I'm going to get fucking 10 gold out of this fucking piece of stone.
Does that mean I automatically pass the? He automatically fails the saving throw?
It's only a saving throw if you try to dig past the surface thoughts.
Are they aware?
Nope. Only if you try to dig beyond the surface thoughts. And the surface thoughts are, I'm going to get fucking money off this fucking statue.
Can I dig past the surface thoughts?
Yeah, he's going to make a saving throw.
Okay. DC 17. Wisdom.
All right, let's find out how he does. Town guard.
Uptown guard.
Yeah, totally.
He is
Wisdom.
trying to extort my wisdom.
He's a low town guard.
All right.
Low town guard.
He fails.
Great. I would
What
like
are you looking for?
Cass. Well, what can you tell me? Is he going to be trouble for us after we enter the city?
So you read his deeper thoughts, and he's like, just give me my fucking money and get out of my hair, you fucking piece of walking rubble. You get the sense that he is an individual who just cares about money and doesn't really care about the job. Like, he is an individual who takes bribes for everything. He's not an honorable person.
Okay, I'm going to try something. Since he failed his save, I get a free cast of suggestion on his
Okay.
brain.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm going to suggest to him that he let us pass this time without any trouble, that I will personally keep an eye on this guy, and that if he gives us any trouble, I'll come back and find him and pay up.
You shall not pass.
Okay, so suggestion. Is it a one-word suggestion? Or no, it's a course of action?
Oh, I guess it's limited to a sentence or two, so I will say,
Yeah.
listen, just let us pass this time, and everything will be fine.
Okay, you say that to him. He makes another saving throw. He looks at you like, why are you giving me such shit? Just go already. And he kind of like pushes you out of the way and like kind of pushes you in and goes up to a group behind you and starts harassing them for like, what's this? What are you trying to bring in? And kind of being very officious. And you can still detect those surface thoughts of, these people look like they have more money.
I don't think I like him.
Keep walking and step
Good
it up.
walk. Great walk.
Well, you saved me my last 10 gold. So I appreciate that much.
Yeah, so you all enter Winton. Winton, much like the Wall, is a city built of what people found. You see that many of the buildings, most of which are under two stories tall at max, are built like out of ruins that have been added onto again. So like it's got like a couple of walls that are like ancient and solid, and then it's got like wood rafters and like plaster and stuff that have been put in place to make a building out of a ruin. So it's a lot of that. If you've ever seen the movie Hook, imagine the pirate town. That is the visual in Winton.
Copy. That's amazing.
And even though it's like starting to get late at night, there is a throng of people about and shouting and cursing and like public drinking, urination. It is a large, boisterous city. And you see all sorts of people here. There are people scampering about, all kinds of stuff.
Olive hates it already.
Yeah, it is a loud, kind of drunken party town. You overhear all sorts of like conversations about, Oh, did you see the champion last fight? Ah, yeah, great blue match. All kinds of just like, hey, get the fuck out of my way. People like pushing around. Eventually,
I'm walking here.
yeah, eventually
Yeah, we're in New York.
people start noticing Defect and they're like, hey, it's the rock guy. It's the rock guy. Hey, hey. And people start like clamoring around. Defect, hey, are you going to fight again? Oh, yeah. You were pretty shitty at it. I lost a lot of money on you once. Come on, what's your
Defect,
deal?
I seem to love you.
And like it goes from being like curiosity to kind of verbal harassment fairly quickly.
I turn to the group and say we should find the nearest tavern or inn, I should say, and find a place to sleep and get away from this crowd.
Are you okay, Defect? Do you need me to fight them?
I don't think that's necessary. Let's just look for an inn.
All right, who are the locals?
I
Actually,
appreciate.
While this is happening, I would love to do something. Sorry, Mike, you go.
No, man.
Hey,
I
Hey,
finished.
Defect, do you want to be something less obvious?
Nope. I already made my entrance.
What?
I own up to it.
Yeah.
While we are walking and this is
Yeah,
happening, did notice him.
you kind of are like there's a crowd that kind of is like constantly harassing, and even as you like rush away and are walking through other crowds, occasionally they're still being like, hey, it's the fucking loser rock dude, hey, like all kinds of like, hey, there's the target practice dummy, look at him.
Because I know Greg wants to do something, I'll put like a hand on Greg and be like, don't blow your cover.
I would love to, if possible, to cast a spell.
What do you want to cast?
Fireball, immediate vicinity.
Greg is sitting there like turning purple, like trying to
Just kidding. I would love to cast Calm Emotion.
Ooh, interesting. Go for it.
It has been cast, so it is a. Let me read this again. I haven't cast this in like ages.
It's a 20-foot sphere.
Yeah, I attempt to express strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in 20-foot sphere must make a charisma saving throw. Ugh, words DC 17.
Okay.
Words DC 17.
Yes, they must 17 or they fail.
Yeah, so there's like 12 people around you right now.
I assume this follows me because it's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Center on a point you choose within range. Oh, well.
So you just
Can I choose my shield?
Sure. You choose your which shield? The one that you wear or the one that you are still attuned to but don't use?
Not that one.
Okay.
The one I'm wearing.
We
don't talk about that one.
Okay.
talk about that one.
Okay. You cast it on your shield. And immediately like almost all of the crowd is just kind of like, whatever. Like, yeah, let's move on. We got drinks to do. A couple of people are like, but it's the guy, and he's like, fuck him. Let's go. Let's get some fucking steaks or something. Let's go. And people just kind of scatter off, and a couple of people are like, well, if the group's not gonna do it, fine, and then kind of follows after people.
This only lasts for a minute, though, so Spoodle will kind of like, without saying anything, be like, I think we should hurry along before they change their mind.
Here we go. Does Greg notice all these things that Spoot's doing?
Greg, make a perception check.
Yes. 12.
Nope. You are too busy, like, covering yourself up and, like, trying not to be noticed.
Eyesing and turning purple with trying to stay quiet.
Yeah. I'd like everybody at this point to make a perception check for me.
Ooh. I actually kind of wanted Greg to see.
Okay.
They're getting worse. It's pretty-
Sorry.
18.
Cool.
30, 20.
16. Oh, look at
Why
this
is
effect.
this not working?
Yeah.
My Beyond 20 is not working.
It was just updated, so maybe it's a glitch. Well, you can just roll a d20, because... Do you add anything to perception?
Nah.
Okay, so yeah,
11.
just roll a d20. All right, cool. Cool. So, pardon me. Very cool. Very cool. Great. So what did everybody get?
18.
20.
16.
Cool. So you're all looking around, and Defect, you hone in on something that looks strange. You hone in on like what is a pair of eyes, like behind a bushel of fruit, and you hone in on it, and like you stare at it, and it attracts Olive's attention. So Olive stares where you're staring, and it immediately, like, whoever it is gets spooked, and they kind of like stand up to run away, but end up getting caught on something and like tripping and falling over the pile of fruit. And a small goblin form like stands up, looks in your direction, and then fucks off into the street.
Did that fruit
Do
just
I
run away?
recognize this person? This goblin?
No.
Did you just call somebody a fruit? It's
No,
not
that
very
pile
nice.
of fruit. Part of that pile of
What?
fruit just got up and ran away.
What? It looked like
Yeah,
fruit?
goblin.
What was in it?
But
Goblin? What color? How long were they?
There's more than one color?
What were their...
Goblins come in colors?
No shape.
Interesting.
What colors were they?
do I catch their color?
Did it have any scars?
Nose shape?
You
Scars?
didn't catch too many details. You just caught that they had like a kind of grubby attire, and kind of were disguised fairly well, actually, until you spooked them and they tripped and then scampered off. So, are you looking for the nearest tavern, or are you finding a place specific, or what are you doing?
Olive doesn't know where anything is. She's
yes,
just looking around
it's-
for an inn.
Yeah, it's nighttime, right? So maybe.
So yeah, so
Okay.
Defect, Olive, and Spoot, you see a couple of options. There's the Hanged Man. There is the Frozen Sunset. And there is the Black Pearl. All kind of in the same area on this street.
Do I recall which of these places are the quietest?
No. You didn't really go to taverns when you were here last.
Would I
Do
know?
I know anything?
Greg and Nereus can make history checks. Greg, you have advantage on this.
Well, I rolled an 11.
Okay. All the bars and taverns in town are kind of various levels of CD. So it's a crapshoot.
19.
19, Nereus, you know for a fact that the Black Pearl is run by a former pirate captain who sold their ship and became a tavern owner, because by doing so, they essentially voided a warrant for their arrest. So they are kind of skeezy in that way, but they also like cater to like higher end clientele.
Did I know this pirate captain at all?
Not personally.
Okay. Wait, which bar do I know that this is?
The Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl.
Well,
Ask for Mr. Sparrow.
right. I know the Black Pearl was run by somebody from my my home city. They're one of the captains. I've
Is
heard
that a
it's
good
nice-
thing or a bad thing?
Well, they kind of gave up the captainship and moved here to avoid a warrant for their arrest. But I've heard it's a nice bar. So, I mean, from what I've heard, you guys have decent coins. So I'm sure if Defect wanted somewhere quiet to talk or something, like, it would be okay. I don't know how much you guys feel about slumming it. I don't particularly care for
All
slumming
life
it.
is a slum.
You sound awfully familiar.
I think it's better than standing in the street.
Yeah, let's go. It's fine.
I agree.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right. So you all enter the Black Pearl. And as you enter, that's where we will end tonight's session of Nuuli Forged. So thank you, everyone, for coming along with us tonight. What an interesting evening we all had. And you've made it to Winton.
Indeed.
Ooh.
Uh,
Yay!
What
Let's
could
go to that.
what
bar
could
that I went
possibly
to.
go wrong?
Oh,
Backstory development.
literally everything.
Let's count 3 story backgrounds off at the same time.
Right?
Ooh. This is so exciting. Olive's never been to such a big town and she hates it already.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I mean, like, when I was creating Winton, I was like, I need an image for this. And I'm like, Hook. And I just went with it. Because it's a town very much built by pirates and pirate lords and merchant sailors. So
It's a mess.
I love that.
some people love it.
Yep, Olive hates it. She doesn't big crowds. She doesn't like cities. Hates everything about it.
Which is fair.
Should go fishing.
But we will be back here next week at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Which maybe we'll have an Amber, maybe not. TBD still? Or...
That's a very good question.
All right, well, we'll figure that out. In the meantime, let's go around. Everybody go ahead, say your goodbyes, plug anything you want to plug, all that jazz. And I will figure out who we're going to raid this evening.
Woohoo!
Let's start up in the corner here with Spoot.
Hello, I'm Spoot, played by Matt, and I'm really bad at plugs, but Amber's here, so Amber's better at plugs. I wanted to do this when I was plugging. For the price of 1 like or subscribe, watch us weekly on YouTube or Twitch. Nuuli Forged.
I like that.
I mean, you just did it.
That's all I got.
You did it.
Well done.
Very well done. All right, hopping on down to Nereus.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And I never have anything to plug, so we will see you next week.
Fair enough. Moving over to Olive.
Hey, I'm Sarah, and I have been Olive, and I thought I was going to have a cool thing to show you, but it's caught in the mail, so maybe next week I'll have a cool new thing that my friend made to show you all. And at that point I'll plug their Etsy shop, but without a cool thing to show off, it's kind of pointless. But hey, we are at Nuuli Forged, all the various social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And did I forget one? I don't think so. We still don't TikTok, right?
Oh God, no.
Working on it. Working on those TikTok dances.
All right, you're in charge of the you're in charge of the Nuuli Forged TikTok.
Oh my god.
Yep, I know.
I will watch.
So
it.
that's all. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Fair enough. All right, moving on over to Greg.
I am Greg, and I'm also Amber, and you will have me next week. So there's that.
Ooh.
You get to more places without being home, and that's all I got. Thanks for joining. Hope we were amusing.
Fantastic.
Woo-hoo.
And that leaves me,
Yeah.
Mike. I've been Defect. And I got nothing else to say. So good night. Have a great night, great week. Be cool to each other, because it's a crazy world out there.
Oh yeah.
Ives got it. Subscribing for 13 months. Thank you, Ives got it. You're the best. And you're a traveling accountant, apparently, in Nuuli. So good job.
Oh yeah, I wanted to point out that Spoot would have definitely have said hey, because he greets everyone on the road. It says something like,
Yeah, he pleasantly
Cheesy.
waved and Said hello.
Now that I know
And
it's
then-
you,
You'll have to run
And
into
then
him
Greg
again.
stole all the business cards. It's okay. You have his business card. Greg stole them all.
I'm trying to imagine this guy with an abacus going to a pirate town. You know,
He's going
Really,
away
he's
from
not
the
maybe that's why he
pirate
was
town.
leaving.
He was leaving the town.
oh, he's
And-
leaving. Okay.
And it may also be why he only had business cards in his pocket.
Counting his losses.
Yeah.
But anyway, over to Mike. Oh wait, you were done. Question?
I already did it.
You just
Yeah.
did that.
Oh, all right.
No,
you're
no.
you're the TikTok master now. Cool.
That's right.
Yes.
I have been Jared, your humble dungeon master here. You can find us on all the social medias at Nuuli Forged, as said by Sarah. You can, if you want to listen to Matt and I talk about D&D stuff, hey, our podcast, Mid-Level Adventurers, is available, and we are working on season 2 now, coming soon to podcast platforms near you. And today on YouTube, our episode about NPCs dropped. So if you want to listen to some NPC info, you can catch us on YouTube there. All at Mid-Level Adventurers, where your finest podcasts and YouTubes are found. Thank you all very much for joining with us. We're going to do a little raid on 5% chance here. So hop in, shout that you've been newly rated, and be kind to each other, be nice, be safe. Check in on your loved ones and friends and all that kind of stuff. And we will see you back here next week. So thank you all very much for being here. Thank you, I've Got It. Thank you, G. Ryan. Thank you, Little Witch, for the follow. And thank you, Bad Bull, for hacks, for all becoming references and contributing to the campaign. It's going to be fun.
Thank you for not poisoning me with your tea.
Yes. All right. That's it. Goodbye, everyone. We're going to raid now.
Bye.
Hop in. Say you've been newly rated.